Turning focus. Action.
But she won't survive the process!
What an episode to kick off the series. Welcome back.
In this action-packed return, we go all heavy metal with some bionic baddies.
Your Majesty.
You're what now?
Things get explosive with my work experience.
That is a bag, isn't it?
Sparks fly with the Doctor and his new companion.
He's not a doctor.
What qualifies you, actually, the
Oh,
Doctor?
come on, I've got a sonic screwdriver. What?
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive peek from the next episode.
Welcome back to Doctor Who Unleashed.
And action.
Here we go. We've got liftoff on a new series of Doctor Who and a new series of Unleashed, where we bring you exclusive behind-the-scenes access to all things Who. That means new sets, new threats, new faces, and some familiar ones.
That's complicated things.
So shall we dive in?
It's the 30th of November 2023, so to put that into some sort of context for you, the first of the 60th anniversary specials with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, the Star Beast, that has just gone out on the telly. But we are here in a suburban Cardiff street in the middle of the night. It's a night shoot, it's freezing, but we're filming the first episode of Ncuti Gatwa's second season as the Doctor. Are you keeping up with me? Look, there's robots and there's a rocket ship, so it's just classic Doctor. But the last few weeks have been especially busy for his new companion.
You're what now?
So it's a big Whoniverse welcome, or should I say, welcome back, to Varada Sethu.
Some eagle-eyed Whovians out there will recognise Miss Belinda Chandra from episode 3 in season 1.
I'm Anglican.
Miss Belinda Chandra is a very, 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 very distant descendant of Mundy Flynn.
Did she look like me?
Absolute match.
Well, V, it's lovely to see you again, because this is the first time I've seen you on set, so congratulations.
Thank you.
You're having a nice time so
I'm
far.
having such a nice time. Yeah, I was really sad to leave last time, because I think I came for a grand total of maybe 3 weeks or something, and I had such a good time.
Yeah.
It felt really sad to, it felt sad to leave. And then I got the call to say that I get to come back for good.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting.
But how did Varada get from Mundy Flynn, Anglican Space Marine, to Belinda Chandra, NHS nurse and certified Star Queen?
So I wrote Belinda Chandra, and we auditioned an awful lot of people. We searched high and low, and there were some great people. We saw some really great people, and you know, the hardest piece of work you've got on this show is to get someone who'll match Ncuti, because he's so blazing and stellar. And it was just one day, I was on like the 100th edit of Boom, sitting watching it thinking, God, Varada's so good. What a shame I don't get to work with her. What a shame I don't get to write for her. And what a shame she can't come back. And then I just suddenly thought, oh, we've done this before.
Before Varada, Freema Agyeman, Karen Gillan and Catherine Tate made Whoniverse appearances before they became the Doctor's full-time companion.
So why don't we cast Varada? And I ran it past everyone, and it was the fastest yes we've ever had of anything. 'Cause normally people sit in committees and discuss things, and everyone just went, oh, great. What a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
When my agent called to say, would you be interested in meeting to potentially be considered for the companion?
Yeah.
It was so out of the blue. And also, I think the first thing I said was, but they know I'm in it already, right? She was like, yes, they do. I really wasn't expecting it. It's obviously something that's sort of like a dream job. But yeah, that was really exciting to then be in the room with Jane and Russell and kind of realizing about 5-10 minutes into the meeting that it's not like an audition, it was an offer.
Yeah,
and I was like, yes, yes. They were sort of like, no, go home and think about it. Nope, it's a yes right now.
What does the Doctor make of it all?
Very exciting to get to work with Varada again. She's an incredible actor, and we have such great chemistry. And yeah, I think Belinda Chandra, she really brings out a different side to the Doctor, because she's a little bit older. She knows herself, and she's got a career, and she's got a life, and she's got responsibilities as well that allow her to see beyond the Doctor's charm. Like, she's not charmed by him, she's not wowed by him, she's not overly impressed by him.
I am not one of your adventures.
She doesn't want to be the sidekick to some guy who's just turned up. It's like, no, I want to go back to what I was doing. I was, changing the world. I was making a difference. To her, the way that she was doing that was through her work. But, she's pulled out of that world, and all she wants to do is kind of go back to serving her purpose.
Interesting that it's a doctor-nurse.
It is really cool. It's a doctor and a nurse. I don't know how it applies to, other than it being funny to say, like, oh, it's cool that it's a doctor and a nurse. Yeah, because obviously he's not a doctor, which gets pointed out regularly. I feel it should be pointed out. He's not a doctor.
What qualifies you, actually, to be the
Oh,
doctor?
come on, I've got a sonic screwdriver. What?
It's a glorious day, if rather cold, in January 2024. So I've come to the Mumbles, this beautiful part of southwest Wales, but a lot of that episode was actually written. I'm here to meet with Russell to find out what else he's got in store for us for Series 2.
Who is that? Who is that bothering me?
Hello.
Who's bothering me
Look
and
at
interrupting
it.
me?
Hello.
Nice to see you. Hello,
Darling,
Thank
are
you
you in a Doctor Who scarf?
Come on.
Come on.
Not just for you either, this is just...
I wouldn't let you in without it. Frankly, that's it.
Oh, look at that then.
Come on.
Oh, this is why you work from here.
Admire my... It is why I work from here,
Look
actually.
at that.
It's a vista, is it not?
Right, get the kettle on, is it? I could exterminate a cup of tea.
Is this the place where you had the idea for what was going to happen in episode 1? Or was it a germ of an idea that came to you walking around the Mumbles, or were you elsewhere?
I was here. No, it was in this kitchen. I think I was thinking of a birthday present for someone. I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, God, the people used to name stars after people. And then I just kind of thought, what if you named a star after someone and the people who lived in that star thought that you were their queen?
Welcome to Miss Belinda Chandraville.
Don't you start.
Then, when that idea came, did you know that it was going to be Belinda? Or, where were you? in that
No,
situation?
it was kind of like, it was a spare idea. I remember sort of saying about it, you could cast anyone with this. You could cast Kathy Burke and have her taken to a planet and then rescued and brought back by the Doctor as a one-off. You just kind of leave ideas sit there, and they kind of sit and they tick away, and things gather around them, and some ideas you abandon. But that one kept on growing, so it just kind of fell into place quite naturally. It was a good idea, sitting there waiting. It'd be a great one-off story, but it'd be a fantastic introduction for a companion.
So what's your name? Doctor what?
Just the Doctor?
What? You're actually called the Doctor?
Yeah.
All right, then. I'm called the Nurse.
Doctor and nurse. Good team.
When you started thinking about Series 2, did you know roughly what the journey you wanted to take the audience on, or has that changed a lot as you've been writing?
It's both. It changes, and bear in mind, I've been thinking about this ever since season 1. We didn't just think of season 1 and then season 2.
Yeah.
It's like these are conversations that have been ongoing. Some of these scripts were commissioned way back. Some of them have changed. We've dropped some scripts. There's gorgeous stuff to come. It's like next week, we're in Miami in 1952.
Yeah.
We've got great things coming up. We've got a very unexpected sequel coming up. Got the Interstellar Song Contest. I mean, we'll be publicising that one right away. That one is going to kill us making that. Also, keep your eye on Anita Dobson,
Yeah, well, of course.
because she's been ticking away for a year now.
Yeah, she has.
She ended season 1 with that flourish in the snow on the
Yeah.
rooftop, promising terror to come. That's on its way.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
And where does that magic happen?
Upstairs.
Could
Up
I
the stairs.
could I be rude and ask to have a look at where
Yes, you can.
where it?
Come on, love.
What's the typical day for you like in here? Do you lock yourself in? Are you here for like 10 hours or?
There's no such thing as a regular day, really. I mean, I suppose I'm here by 9:30.
Yeah.
Which just depends how late I work. Sometimes I work at night, so if I worked at about 2 in the morning last night, then I would be later in the morning, obviously. Sometimes I don't even walk in here. Sometimes, if it's a thinking day, I'll just potter about and I'll go down and have a coffee and potter about. So I'm not always here. I don't sit here and have ideas and go, oh, that's a good idea, and type. If I've had the ideas before, the ideas it can be like when you're brushing your teeth, or, or sitting with your family, or walking, or watching telly, or reading a book. It's like the idea, that's when they pop up. It's very rare for in fact, I couldn't tell you, I don't think I've ever had an idea happen here.
Are you like do you fist punch the air when you think inside your head you
do I
nailed
just
it?
sit-
Do you scream? Do
I
you
sit here-
dance in celebration?
I do sit here laughing at my own joke. And then I laugh every time I read it back. That's just terrible. I have a little camera on me doing that. I do. And I cry at the sad bits, I think. Yeah, and I get excited. What I do is just play music all the time. And it's like, if it's exciting, if you're writing chases, which Doctor Who is mostly one long chase, I'm coming up at the end of episode 7 now. The peak of it's going to go higher and higher and higher. So I'll absolutely have loud chase music on then.
When you're pottering and you have an idea,
Yeah.
do you stick it on your phone? Do you voice note it? Do you write it down?
Never. No, I do. A lot of people do. That's fine. Good. But I think if you have a good idea, you don't forget it. And if I do forget it, I won't know. It's gone. Whoosh. But
like the silence of it.
No, they just stay there.
And there's nothing on a piece of paper for it. It's just all up here.
No, if I get run over by a bus, no one will know how it ends. No, have I told anyone? No, no one knows. Partly because I haven't decided. There's a couple of ways you get to the ending. That's the choices I've got to make over the next few weeks is choosing which way to go.
Yeah.
I know what happens, but I don't know how it happens.
Yeah, it's like one of those books. It was like turn to page 72.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Turn to page 71.
Yeah, just in your mind. Yeah.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. Whilst the crew shoot Ncuti on set, I shoot off to shoot a little something of my own for my work experience.
Oh, wow.
We discover how stage 3 is transformed from this to this to this. And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive peek at the next Doctor Who episode. But first, as well as his no-nonsense new companion, in this episode, the Doctor also had to deal with megalomaniac baddie AI Alan. Played by Johnny Green.
How long does that take then, Johnny? How long have you been creating?
So
10 minutes?
I got here, I wish. I got here at 7, and I think about 9:30 we'd done it. So actually it was pretty quick, really.
That's pathetic score. That's not too bad, right? Actually, 2.5 hours. Maybe you got the short straw. You got the long straw there. Are you putting a voice on, or did you think about that, or was that a conversation?
Yeah, I've had a
sort of
conversation with Vicky about that, about what we sort of feel is going to work best for it. Because I think I'm going to be on a mic for some of it. Once I've sort of heard that in the space, I think it'll help.
Yeah.
The robots will bring her to me, so metal and skin may weld within Miss Belinda Chandra.
Maybe some of it we'll do further down the line if we want to go back and kind of... I think it's just about playing with it in the space and what sort of is feeling best. I've got ideas, obviously.
Yeah.
But
because it's funny because
it's married to one version. At the
moment. That's interesting because how characters change and develop, right? Because we sometimes think that you turn up as like a right. There you are. There's your box, and you go just do that. But actually, with something like this, that's so unique and part human, part AI, part robot, part all of those things.
Exactly.
What would you sound like?
The robots will bring her to me, so metal and skin may weld within Miss Belinda Chandra.
There's also that factor of I want the end to be where I'm upset. I don't want that to be on the same level as everything I've done in the scenes before, because otherwise people go, oh, he's shouting again. That'd be the worst thing ever. So I don't want to do that.
Belinda.
Oh my God. Alan, are you all right?
I am supreme.
But it's exciting. There's a lot going on in the scenes as well, so I don't think there'll be much time for me to sort of overthink or anything like that. Just be able to sort of feel it and feel what's working, you know?
Sharing the robotic limelight is Alan's mechanical muscle. No, I don't mean him. Let's meet...
the Miss Belinda Chandra bots.
This is probably one of the most surreal things we've ever done. Because this is a street in the middle of Cardiff that I used to live on the corner of, and then are just 2 giant robots in the back of someone's garden. It's a bit mad, isn't it?
Working with the robots was an experience.
My parents. Oh, my poor parents. The first bit that I had to shoot in the garden, I nearly got squashed between the 2 of them.
Yes.
Because they can't actually see where they're going.
Robots are kidnapping me!
I was getting pushed up from my back by one robot onto the front of the other one. And I was like, they're not stopping. I'm just gonna get crushed
This is where
on camera.
So who are the men behind the mechanics?
That's Robert. This is Robert.
Recognise him yet? This is actually the third time we've met Robert on Unleashed. Firstly, he played a Roth warrior in the 60th anniversary specials. And last season, he played the bogeyman in Space Babies.
How are you doing? This looks very complicated.
It is, I guess. But the amazing people at Millennium have made it so streamlined, so comfortable.
Yeah.
It's kind of remarkable.
Yeah.
What I love about it is once you're in it, it looks like you're kind of operating a suit with like handles or something.
Yeah.
But it's all just us. Although right now it gives us these funny little T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
These bionic behemoths are the work of Millennium FX, the team responsible for bringing the live-action creatures of the Whoniverse to life. Designed digitally, the suits were then 3D printed, with each robot split into 28 individual pieces for the torso, and then 6 pieces for the legs, as well as all the mechanisms on the inside too. The pieces were then glued together before being moulded with silicone and then cast out in fiberglass to make a sturdy shell. In all, it took 8 weeks to make the 4 full robots. And before they went onto set, the suits had to be tested. The man in the second robot can is Stephen, who also played a Roth warrior alongside Rob in the specials.
What you have to make sure is that you're ready to be on camera.
That feels lovely and padded.
So you need to know that they will work with the cameras, with the shot size, with the whole staging of it on the stage, on the set, to make sure that everything's working.
Where would you like me?
One of the things in particular is the movement, making sure that the robots would be able to move at the right time.
I mean, ultimately, you could do this on the day, but we never have enough time. So it's like rehearsal, it's camera testing, it's practical tests, like how long it takes them to put them in. I don't know if you've noticed, but there are 2 stands for their arms, so they can rest, because it cuts off the circulation otherwise.
Cool. Just turn around. Let's do that once more.
It's preparing. You have to be prepared with anything. If you encounter anything, you know what to do, or you've got enough rough understanding of how to solve because you've already had some testing.
After a few further checks and adjustments, the suits are signed off and are ready for set.
When you were the bogeyman, you talked about your performance. In this, because it's quite static, can you still sort of give a performance, or is the suit doing a lot of that work?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting, isn't it? I guess, I mean, that applies to every kind of creature. This one is obviously the biggest suit on top of the performer. We kind of wanted to bring an expressive life to it, but then they're also robots, you know, so it's got to have that kind of digital feel.
Yeah.
But then also it's got a fluidity to it. You want to make it look like it's made of metal, so that we are these like car-sized things that are lumbering in. So that's part of it as well. And then making the moves kind of very economic, you know, because it's not an organic thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of expression you can still get, even though it's really the other end of the spectrum to the bogeyman.
Yeah.
It's not one stuff.
Well, I'll let you get finished up.
I'll let you get back to your TV.
Yeah, I know. Keeping me warm. I don't want to say his head will keep me warm because I know you're cold in there because you've only got like 1 layer on.
Well, I can put a little hot water bottle in here.
Oh, hello.
And then between takes, we stuff duvets in.
Thanks, Mom.
They're looking after us.
Hey?
And I've got a heat pack on my kidneys.
You know, the highest tech TV show in the land, hot water bottle. That's all you need.
Hot water bottle, tea and a paper cup.
Perfect. Thank you very much, mate. Right, I'll see you later.
See
Good
you
luck.
later.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Season 2 of Doctor Who has been filmed entirely in South Wales, and Mission Control is Wolf Studios in Cardiff. Consisting of 7 stages and a backlot, the studio has a constant buzz of sets being built, dismantled and repurposed for future episodes. And of course, there's sets being filmed on.
One of the advantages of filming here in Wolf Studios in Cardiff is you've got these giant stages for big, complicated sets. Look how big it is.
For the designs in this episode, Russell had something very particular in mind.
I just wanted the aesthetic of the 1950s. There's something a bit dumb about the robot.
There we go. Hello.
If they'd been very modern AI robots, they would have looked a bit too stupid. So they've got a bit of old-fashionedness. They've always got an old-fashioned courtesy about them. And there's almost a politeness about them.
You are Miss Belinda Chandra.
How do you know my name?
Name confirmed. Your Majesty.
You're what now?
So that made me think there should be something a bit retro about them. So once you start thinking of that, once you start thinking of robots, and I wanted them to have great big laser guns, I love those laser guns. An old-fashionedness just creeps into it, and it just became the 1950s. That kind of bled into the whole thing and became part of the design and the style of it, and it's lovely. I love it.
Rewind to October 2023 with filming of the episode still 8 weeks away. I met production designer Phil Sims to ask him how he planned on transforming this empty studio into Russell's retro dream.
Phil, when you see it in this state,
Yeah.
which is basically an empty room
Yeah.
with some wooden floors, are you excited about what it will become? Is it panic, maybe? Because there's quite a lot to do, isn't there? You're filming in a few weeks.
Mainly, I feel great. This is perfect.
Yeah.
As soon as it starts to be built, then the anxiety levels build.
Yeah.
And the stress levels build.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gives us a chance to, you know, hark back to your childhood or your favourite B movies, your favourite 50s movies. So this is quite influenced by something like Forbidden Planet and This Island Earth, which was a reference Russell had that he really liked.
Yeah. And it will inhabit this space.
Yeah.
Soon.
Very soon.
Fast forward through 8 weeks of hard graft and a whole load of green paint, and the empty studio has been transformed into a 1950s sci-fi set.
Wow, well, this is it then, Phil. It's crazy to think that the last time we were in here, it was just basically tape on the floor.
It was, yeah.
And your brain.
On the floor. Yeah, it was, yeah.
And you're going to be filming on it in like less than an hour?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The crew are coming in now, so it's all going to kick off any minute now.
How do you feel?
I love it. I'm really pleased. I'm relieved.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge set to build in the time that we had.
Yeah.
But
it's big, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm over the moon. It's amazing. The guys have done so well. It's brilliant.
I think the catwalk, I love that. And then obviously the console is just great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the AI generator.
Yeah.
That's Alan.
Is that your favourite part of it, Alan? You big...
Oh, it's one of my favourite parts. I mean, the set itself is one of my favourite things of all time that we've worked on so far. Yeah, it is.
Of all our time walking around all the different sets that you've built, Phil, I know that you've reused lots of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I think I've seen a set like this where you've got so many different locations in one spot.
Yeah, it's kind of evolved, as these things do, to become a parallel set. So it's going to work as the AI generator where Alan lives.
Yeah.
And then it also becomes a robo chamber. That's how we designed it.
Yeah. And how difficult is it for you to dress it so that it feels different enough for those other sets?
It's not very difficult at all. We've got 2 bits of dressing. We take them out, it's dressed, it's done. Change the lights. It's all down to Sam Kerr, the DP, who's amazing.
No, it's really atmospheric, Phil, I have to say.
Good.
I think I might agree with you.
What's your favourite?
I think
Is it your favourite?
I think I kind of do.
Stage 2 will hear you. Don't. Yeah, and it's very sensitive.
It's just me and you here. And Alan.
With everything from laser gun battles to walking through walls to dry ice and even a light dusting, the SFX team are involved in almost every scene of this action-packed episode. So, to kick off my work experience for this series, I'm going in all guns blazing, alongside SFX supervisor Danny Hargreaves. And if I'm a good boy, he's promised me I can shoot some stuff and blow some stuff up. But not on the actual set. That's only for the professionals. I've got to play outside.
Right, let's drag that back. What we're setting up here is a typical Doctor Who, where it's like bullet hits, laser hits.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't necessarily test this now, but we're going to give you a go.
There we are.
This is why we're setting. Yeah, we're setting up for you to get familiar about what the effect is, how it's going to work, and we'll even get you to press the button as well. Is that all right?
Pressing buttons. Yeah.
Okay. The best thing that I love to do on Doctor Who, which is the paintball gun, the Zerk gun. So it's a paintball gun.
Yeah.
But we have these little pellets inside, which are basically, they look like, I can get one out for you. It's a material that with friction it's sparks, all right? So it's got casing inside. really good fun effect, but it's super serious because what we're doing is we're shooting a projectile.
Yeah.
And we never shoot them at the cast or anyone like that. We're shooting behind them. And what this does, this is just a really quick way of achieving those spark effects that you see. Yeah, but obviously safety in mind.
Yeah.
We treat it like a real gun. Cock's ready to go.
Yeah.
Safety's off.
Oh, wow.
All right. So take your aim.
Amazing.
So the safety's on at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're going to shoot at where I was shooting.
Yeah,
okay. So
perfect.
aim up now. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
And then we're going to take the safety off, and then we're going to shoot. Very good. There we go.
Thinking, Danny. That's 3 from 3 there. Did you see that?
That was pretty good, actually.
Did you see that?
Yeah, very good, very good.
3 from 3 then.
Time to take things up a notch.
So what this is my remote firing system.
Right.
All right. Now, what this means is there's very little wiring that needs to happen. So my team at the moment are plugging in the pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
Each one of those has a thing called a receiver. And then they put them in a sequence. You with me on this? Yeah, you still with me on this? Yeah. Okay.
Receiver, sequence.
That's exactly it. And then we put them in order. So wherever we want to start the sequence, we start with number 1.
Yeah.
And we run. So what we're going to do is we program this, and it's going to go bam, 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 bang.
This looks very much like you're a Bond villain.
It is pretty cool.
Like it's one of the boxes that you
Every
have.
time I pick it up, I think I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is so powerful. I mean, essentially, we could program this. I can take this in my car and drive off down the road, just press a button, and it's still happen.
Because it basically means you can be far enough away.
I can, yeah. So we obviously, this is programmed so that we are far away. I'm pretty much nearly really quite close a lot of the time, and that's purely because I need to see what's going on. So anything changes, the action changes, the doctor slips over, or something falls not quite how we want, we've got to be quick and not fire. So the first thing to do now is obviously make sure that the environment around us is safe, okay?
Yeah.
So there's a few people that have turned up. We've got fire protection here. The gentleman here is with the fire protection to make sure that we're all good to go. Now you're going to press the button on this occasion.
Oh, hello.
All right. So when you press that button number 1, things are going to happen.
Right.
All right. Okay. So I
don't know if I will. I don't know. I can't.
You get all nervous now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I was all full of bravado earlier. Like, I can blow stuff up, and now it's come down to it.
Right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And we're going to count 3, 2, 1, and you're going to press that button.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Right, yeah.
Don't press it too soon.
No, I'm gonna,
okay. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow. Flipping heck. Well, that is a bang, wasn't it? You didn't know? I thought it was going to be like some smoke going off. That's like
No, I told you it was going to be a bang.
Oh, it's amazing. And it feels... It's weird, isn't it? The power when you press the button.
So we've seen what that does now. So imagine we're going to put that into the set, probably a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, ready to go.
As the SFX team tool up, I'm going to observe from a safe distance.
That is how you blow stuff up on set without hurting anyone. How cool is that?
Stopping. Next time on Doctor Who. In this episode, we head to the big screen for some big screams as the Doctor and Belinda battle a creepy cartoon character.
What a fine and dandy day.
I get to play around with some sound effects on my work experience.
I think I was too subtle. I think I need to be bigger again.
We're on the waterfront in a stormy South Wales as the set is gone with the wind.
It's not very Miami weather.
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next Doctor Who episode. But first...
Oh, hello there. You must be Mr. Ring-a-Ding.
And what's your name, sweetie pie?
Hi there, I'm Steffan. Lovely to meet you. What are you up to today?
Oh, it's such a beautiful day. I think I'll go to town. Yes, sirree.
Oh, very nice. And so what made you take on this job then on Doctor Who?
Dagnabbit, I got no choice.
Oh, what, nobody else would have you?
What do you say? I'm looking at you with the glasses.
Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed.
Settle into your seats as Unleashed goes box office.
Action.
Now showing a behind-the-scenes look at the Doctor and his new companion, Belinda Chandra. No! In a 1950s cinema adventure. Whatever the genre, romance or horror, not to mention drama, and of course, science fiction. This blockbuster has got a bit of everything, including nostalgia.
Can you remember going to the cinema for the first time?
Yes.
What did you go and see?
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
That your first one?
Yeah. My mum took me. I remember I was very scared to ask her to take us to the cinema, and she was like, yes, I will. Yeah, she didn't have a lot of money, and she saved up, and she took us all to the cinema, and that was the first film we watched, and you can't ask me more about it, because I will cry.
OK. I'll stop there.
So grab some tasty treats, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Gosh, there's so much in the episode. It's so rich. There's, like, they land in 1950s Miami in the middle of the night, and they know there's something dark happening in the cinema, but they would rather be in a cinema than facing the evils of outside of 1950s Miami.
We've always been asked, what are you going to do taking Ncuti's Doctor into the past, into what forms of racism is going to exist? And it's very interesting. I think people imagine that in terms of 1800, 1900, 1700, but actually this is 1950s Miami.
The diner is segregated, no blacks, which includes you. We're breaking the law just by being in here.
But that's... Oh, my God.
I've said, we're in the 1950s, it's just really fun, but obviously it wasn't fun. You know, people of colour, women, everyone had a really rough time. We've done nothing wrong.
You're inside a space reserved for white folk. I don't know how things are done in the Caribbean, but they're different here.
I'm not Caribbean.
I don't want it to become this Doctor's keynote, because historically the Doctor owns the room wherever he is, whether by subversion or character or charisma or style or genuine authority and power. So it'd be a very great shame to change that for Ncuti's Doctor. So it's there. I never want it to be dominant.
We've got to address those issues. I think it's good to address them. Just the reality of the situation of which we are in the world.
At the centre of this episode is one of the most unusual foes the Doctor has ever faced. A cartoon character.
Get ready, because here I come!
Episode 2 is another one of our mad god stories. It's the god of light.
Ta-da!
You're a cartoon.
Don't make me laugh.
It was a continuation of the pantheon that Russell is creating with the Toymaker, Sutek, Maestro. So Lux is the next installment in that pantheon of gods.
Welcome to the pantheon, Lux Imperator, a.k.a. Mr. Ring-a-Ding.
What did you make of Mr. Ring-a-Ding when you first saw him?
Oh my God, he looks like he stepped right out of a cartoon. This sort of weird man-pig.
Why are you blue?
Don't make me laugh!
The singing, dancing, killer gods are really stacking up. But one thing that makes Mr. Ring-a-Ding stand out from the crowd, he is the only two-dimensional cartoon character among them.
And what's your...
In fact, he's the first 2D cartoon character to appear in the main show of Doctor Who. Something that came with a unique set of challenges. Firstly, we saw Mr. Ring-a-Ding like this. But what the actors and the Who crew had to work with was a 2-foot acrylic cutout. Or this thin green pole.
Mr. Ring-a-Ding was I don't know how many feet this is, but like up to your waist, just below your waist, tall cutout of a man with a pig snout and wisps of hair.
We've just had this cutout that we've just had as an eyeline and as a reference for, what he's going to look like.
We face the greatest monsters of all time quite regularly, and they appear to us as tennis balls. But then after they've been through the magic of the edit, they're very scary creatures.
But before they go through the magic of the edit, the team have got to get the magic right on set.
Okay, so what's happening down there is we have the brain trust, if you will, for this episode. The clever people, the camera teams, and the producers trying to figure out how they're going to film Mr. Ring-a-Ding. They've been here for about 15 minutes. I think they have the answer, but they're not quite sure just yet.
While they sort all that out, let's go and meet the fella who designed Mr. Ring-a-Ding. Was the characterisation just sitting there in his head?
I did about 30.
30?
I did quite, a lot of them were just heads, but we did quite variations. We tried little ones, fat ones, tall ones, but the kind of bendy rubber arms kind of guy, you know, that's kind of sums up the style a lot.
But the real work on Mr. Ring-a-Ding didn't start until shooting had finished. It was then that Ian and his team began the painstaking task of bringing the 2D cutout to fully animated life.
I'm a two-dimensional character. You can't expect backstory.
One of the first steps is to film themselves, mapping out the scenes as a reference for Mr. Ring-a-Ding's movements.
I am real.
Then the artists can begin animating him into each shot.
So we've been animating Mr. Ring-a-Ding for quite a few months now, but we've had some really, really good animators in. They've just really kind of knocked out of the park, and they've been super great.
We've used traditional techniques on this episode in terms of the 2D animation, so that involves us not actually pencil and paper, but a pencil and a Cintiq like this, so we can draw directly on the screen. So it's essentially the same as what they would have done back in the 20s, 30s and 40s, except obviously we're on a screen and not on paper, but it's still exactly the same principle.
For this, it's 25 frames a second, so that's 25 drawings every second. Sometimes slightly less if you're kind of holding a pose, but often that's about it.
So for a 10-second clip, that would be 250 drawings just for a 10-second clip of film. The real magic, still to me, after like decades of doing it, if you've done a good job, when you hit the play button, these drawings come to life. It's extraordinary. It's like the ultimate magic act. And it still gets me. Even when I've drawn the thing, I sit back and I'm like, there's Mr. Ring-a-Ding. It's nothing to do with me. He's alive. So it's such a blast.
3,500 miles away in New York, the final element of Mr. Ring-a-Ding's transformation is being laid down. Providing his sinister voice is multi-award-winning actor Alan Cumming.
Well, a happy hello to you too.
That was a great process with Alan Cumming because he's so perfect and so obvious, but he has done Doctor Who before, very recently in The Witchfinders.
Madam, I have come to your rescue.
King James, Your Majesty.
God's chosen ruler and Satan's greatest foe come to vanquish the scourge of witchcraft.
We kind of had a momentary pause over it for that, but then we just thought he's so perfect, and he's not actually in vision for this. I think if it was Alan Cumming standing there being a creature, that's a bit too soon, but because it's just voice, I mean, he's so skilled.
Take a good gander, folks. Ain't got no surprises.
That's the thing about Alan, is that he knows what a villain is. He knows how to pitch things. He knows what's funny. He knows what's serious. He knows what's sinister. And that's a skill you just want on your side. So it's brilliant. I'm so happy.
Don't make me laugh.
Working with Alan Cumming was fabulous. We had video footage of him performing against the microphone, just in his regular clothes, you know. And we could look at that and sometimes get inspiration from it, so we would just watch his face. Sometimes we'd do something with his eyebrows or his eyes, or the way that his lips would form a word. And we can just look at the screen there and do a few sketches. So we kind of have essence of Alan Cumming in there, mixed with Mr. Ring-a-Ding, so you end up with this creature that's somehow a mix of the two of them. And that's fabulous fun. When you have an actor that good, they really feed into how you perform as an animator.
So have the cross-continent collaborations, the intricate illustrations, and the tens of thousands of hours to turn this into this all been worth it? Don't make me laugh. Of course they have.
It's intermission time, folks.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. Varada gets to love the look.
I believe it is inspired by Anita from the West Side Story.
A location shoot turns out to be a real whirlwind.
Storm Jocelyn has arrived, bringing another dose of strong to gale force winds.
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode of Doctor Who. But first...
And now, on with the show.
Now here on Doctor Who Unleashed, we like to ask deep and insightful questions. So we thought this was the perfect opportunity to ask people in the cast and crew, what cartoon character would you be?
Probably Bugs Bunny. And he likes to just burrow around. He enjoys eating carrots, much like
You
me.
love a carrot,
I love a carrot.
Yeah.
Love digging in the ground.
Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, Bugs Bunny.
I can think of you and Bugs Bunny. Well, now I will. Thank you, Devontae. Or Bugs Bunny, as he'd like to be known.
Yeah, that's okay.
I always liked, Megara in Hercules.
I don't, but tell me more.
Oh my God, how do you describe her? She's just very, I think, sarcastic.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot.
Sounds like a winner.
I always wanted to be Blossom from Powerpuff Girls as well.
Powerpuff Girls were
Yeah,
cute.
we've had a Powerpuff Girl mention already.
Oh my God! Okay, who did?
They went for, I can't remember which one.
There was the three of them: Bubbles, Blossoms, Buttercup.
Blossom.
Okay, good, because she's weird. I don't like her. I'm Buttercup.
Okay.
I'd say Horrid Henry.
Horrid Henry?
Yeah, why not?
You're not painting yourself in a very nice light there, Cassius.
I know, but I'm not very. I'm
I think you're about to say I'm not a very nice person.
Yeah, no, I'm not a very nice person. No,
Don't book
like
Cassius for any future job. He's not a very nice
horrible person.
Don't book him. He's great.
Oh, I was a big Pokemon card captors boy.
Yeah.
I loved Charmander. I loved the fire. Yeah, the fire ones.
Yeah.
I love.
I was Bulbasaur.
Oh, Bulbasaur! But Bulbasaur's so cute.
It's an
Bulba.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Bulbasaur.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And he had these vines that came out.
He did. I've got a little Bulbasaur. I hope, not for me. I bought it for my son. I bought it for my son.
Yes.
It's that moment in the episode where some poor unfortunate tries to teach me their job. This time, I've come to Bang post-production in Cardiff for my next work experience. Today, I'm going to be learning all about the work of Louise and Jamie, who are both Foley artists.
Hey.
Hey, Louise, you all right?
Yeah, not too bad, not too
Look how
bad.
cool this room is.
Named after a 1920s American sound effects guy, Foley artists are responsible for creating and recording bespoke sound effects, like, for instance, assembling a Vindicator. That are then added to TV programmes or films.
We're not talking about car sirens or, telephone ringing and so on. They're more just normal sound effects. But footstep, clothing sounds, this is my domain.
Yeah, so people stuff, basically.
Yeah, people and animals as well.
People and animals.
And monsters.
People, animals, monsters. The list is getting longer. Aliens, I imagine, as well. People, animals, monsters, aliens. Not even human, but things.
Things.
Things that exist.
Things that move. We make their sounds.
Every surface is covered in a vast array of props and gadgets to make noises with.
There's a car door.
We have used it for hitting a Dalek before with a baseball bat. We utilised this.
I thought that was a door to next door. It's just the door.
That's the TARDIS 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 door.
TARDIS. How do you know what would make... Because you're saying that car door and a baseball bat was a Dalek. How do you figure that out?
We just go for, OK, is it metal? Is it big? Is it wooden? Does it creak? Does it squeak? Does it rattle? And I think a lot of these things come from practice. I got told it takes 10 years to get good at this job, and I would agree with that, actually. It just takes a lot of experience and learning.
How did you end up smashing a car door with a baseball bat as a Dalek sound, as a career?
Yeah, well, I did really want to be a music producer. I went to university, and whilst I was there, I realised I wasn't interested in music because I'm not very good at it. But I really, really love making sounds. I like performing. So I know it sounds a bit silly, but all these props in this room and my feet, they feel like instruments to me, be it drums with my feet or I wouldn't say guitars with some of the props on here, but I can produce sounds, and to me that kind of was how I found out about it, and then I managed to see some studios like this and get a chance to do it myself. I was really lucky.
Talk about getting a chance, here's mine. Today, apparently, I'm going to be doing the Foley for some food and the projector, starting with a shot where Tommy Lee puts his hand into a box of popcorn and takes a mouthful. Easy, right?
So using this one.
Yeah, we're going to put the popcorn in here and just really just do that, just that rummaging sound. Won't eat any just yet, but just get that rummage. It doesn't sound it until you get some popcorn. Do you want to
Okay,
stick
yes,
some in?
please.
That's the rummaging bag. This is the eating bag.
Okay. So how close do you have to be to the microphone?
When we're doing outside recordings, we get relatively close. I like to have a good bit of distance, have air. I call it air, but essentially it's distance. You ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready. Oh, there's no sound, isn't there? So wait, he's picked at one.
I feel like I need to point out.
I was too late then, was I?
The microphone can hear your voice.
Of course it can. You know what? Good start. Louise, I'm learning. I'm learning. You know, this is not, you know.
That's perfect.
Too much?
That's perfect.
See that? I think I might have found it.
Yeah, right. Just needs a bit of practice,
You
that's
know,
all.
because I've been doing this work experience segments for a long time now and don't necessarily get them all right.
Oh, that was really good.
Next up, the same shot, but this time I'm eating some instead.
Yeah, so concentration more of the crunch. I recommend 2 at a time. Go big.
Double.
Go big or go home.
Okay, go big. So I've got to get the crunch right on time.
Okay.
I think I was too subtle. I think I need to be bigger again. You want a sugary bit of popcorn because they're the ones with the more crunchy
A bit more
bits.
of a crack to it, yeah.
So I'm getting well into this.
It's salt and
Right.
sweet. What can you do?
Okay, here we go. I got the timing wrong. Sorry. I went too slow.
Did I say 3 strikes and you're out?
Yeah, sorry. That felt good. That one felt good.
I love how you turned away from the mic as the camera panned away from him as well. So
I don't know, it's instinctively, Louise. I don't know what's overcoming me, but I just feel very natural in this place.
I'm impressed, but at the same time, I think anyone can do Foley. You just got to have a go.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
The next shot is slightly more challenging. It shows Mr. Pie winding up a film reel, but with no authentic reel to hand, Louise has got a slightly unorthodox solution.
We did recently make some projector sound. It gave us an unusual idea for something that we could use to make that projector film sound.
Okay, which was?
A toaster.
Classic. That's what, you know, you see a film projector, you think toaster.
I just thought I'd try it out and just shoved it in.
That's genius.
Well, that's a toaster.
Okay, here we go. It's more of a rounded loop than a back and forth. Cool.
Perfecto.
Et voila, perfecto. Louise's words, not mine.
Time to hear how it all sounds.
This is your popcorn. So this is the popcorn. I'm happy with that crunch, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
It sounds real.
I enjoyed that crunch.
It feels real.
Yeah, this was the one I'm not sure. I'm quite pleased with that, actually.
Pull the end of that sound back, so you get the
I can't believe there's a toaster.
flapping around. That should be even better.
It's mad, isn't it? It actually sounds like it.
Actually sounds like it.
Well, that's been brilliant. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead because I've done one thing, well, 2 things. I'm going to claim 2 things well. So I'm going to walk out now. But thank you very much. You've got the whole rest of the episode to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you fancy subbing.
I tell you what, just look at the time. So thanks, guys. Now, I know I'm always banging on about how fantastic the sets are on Doctor Who, and that's, well, because they are fantastic, actually.
This 1950s cinema wasn't found by the brilliant locations team in a sleepy Welsh Valleys town. It was built from scratch on stage 4 at Wolf Studios. I say scratch, but actually it's been recycled from the set used on last season's 1960s episode, The Devil's Cord.
Wow. It's cool, isn't it? Where'd you buy that? You know, like wooden, golden statue that you can paint for film and TV sets. Or have they carved? They probably carved it in this show. Ncuti, how cool is this set? This is fun, isn't it?
Very, very, very cool. It does just feel like you're stepping into another world.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I will say that there's one thing that makes it, because it feels like a real cinema, doesn't it?
Mhm.
But there's one thing that I think makes it really unrealistic.
What's that?
Too much legroom. You'd never get this much legroom.
No, you wouldn't. I
You'd be
know.
way crammed up here, wouldn't you?
No, you would.
Look at this. I mean, this is luxurious.
It
This
is. It is. But I mean, we are in a different time, so maybe that's how they had it back then.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I love all the tiny details and stuff like that they do. It's cool.
It's the attention to details, man.
Yeah.
Leg quibbles aside, I'm not the only one impressed.
This is like walking onto the set of a big movie. It's fantastic. The sets are amazing, and the detail in everything, and from every department. You know, the set decoration, and then costume and makeup, and it's been an amazing week of filming.
And it's not just the sets that are dressed to impress. Those 1950s costumes are classy too.
This was my favourite episode so far, because I love that I get to dress in this beautiful costume. I believe it is inspired by West Side Story, Anita from the West Side Story.
Oh, wow.
This episode is all about cinema and the old days of cinema, and so to see them look like movie stars of that era, it just adds so much value.
1950s Miami. What a world to step into. I love wearing a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the costume. It's such a helpful vessel to transport you into that time and place. And I love an outfit.
As we discovered, yeah.
I love an outfit.
It's such a glamorous look, and I've not had a chance very much in my career to be able to do that, and that's really exciting.
Add in some nostalgic prop snacks.
Butterfingers, peppermint kisses, some donuts, as well as these popcorn boxes.
And this immersive set is a picture-perfect experience that gives you kicks at the flicks.
I've eaten at least 2 full, tubs. I'm being paid to eat popcorn and scream.
When it came to filming this episode, the trials and tribulations of making the baddie a cartoon character and then turning the Doctor and Belinda into cartoons as well were nothing compared to finding a location that could pass as the exterior of a 1950s American movie theatre. But what do you know? Having scoured the country just 4 miles up the road from Wolf Studios, the Who crew found the perfect spot at Penarth Pier. Because nothing says tropical Miami quite like a wet winter's day in South Wales.
Storm Jocelyn has arrived, bringing yet more rain and another dose of strong to gale force winds.
That's right, the scene was shot in the face of a full-on storm.
It was freezing cold, and I had to pretend it was like a balmy summer night in Miami. It was quite comical, if anything, just in between takes, just having to be all wrapped up in like a hot water bottle and all the blankets and everything. But then as soon as it's off, pretend that I'm somewhere warm when it's freezing. The best acting you'll ever see me do.
The magic of television. It was like the blazing heat of the South. It was a rainstorm in South Wales, but we kept on going.
With the wind howling and it raining cats and dogs, there were more umbrellas, hot water bottles and towel coats than you could shake a Vindicator at. But that didn't dampen our spirits.
Now, the weather, it's not very Miami weather at the moment, but here, if you come this way, that's the TARDIS there, and this is where they're setting up to film. So this is it, set up for a big day's filming because this is the end of the episode.
For a take now, very exciting. Thank you very much.
I've been down here a lot. My mate got married actually in that building. Wow. And it didn't look like this. So, but I'm trying to remember what it used to look like. So what's the art department done to change it?
I think exterior-wise, there's a decking structure that was in place.
Yeah.
That was obviously too modern. That had to be ripped out.
You ripped it out?
Yeah, we took it out. We were looking to put it straight back in.
Yeah.
But we came across a lot of rotted wood.
Oh, right. So you're replacing it?
And the cost of that has landed with us, unfortunately. It was an unforeseen cost.
Your spreadsheet must be a nightmare
It's
now.
just gone. A lot of this wasn't painted, the front. We've changed the doors as well.
So it's changed loads then?
Yeah, we've added a lot of elements to it. It looks cool.
Yeah. And then you've got to get it back to what it looked like before once you're done filming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's quite a difference, but
yeah,
it'll be good. It'll be good.
But before they get it back to what it looked like before, they have to get the shots in the bag. And the man in charge of controlling the cast, the crew, the general public and the weather is producer Chris May.
So there's a lot going on today.
There's tons.
Yeah.
There's absolutely tons. There's absolutely tons.
And just all that weight sort of sits on you a little bit because you're the producer.
Yeah, it's fine.
So your sort of main role today when it's all happening?
Just making sure we finish.
Right, yeah. So just getting it all done?
I have to do I go around the corner just over there and do little rain dances, anti-rain dances. That's an important part of my job.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
which you're going to demonstrate to us
another time.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know what I do. What do producers do? Now you've asked me, I'm not quite sure.
Keeping the show on the road?
Keep the show on the road. Does anyone else know?
Yeah, we're going with that?
Produce.
Yeah.
Just keep producing. Yeah.
So, and then...
I think what it is actually is I have to keep on saying, it's going to be fine.
Yeah. And it probably will. Yeah.
The last shot of the day involves the wonderful Anita Dobson playing the mysterious Mrs. Flood. I've spent the last year trying to get her to give us some insight into what her character's up to, but all I get is a tight-lipped nothing. Still, persistence is my middle name.
Right, I know you can't answer this, but surely by now there must be something, because we keep doing this, round and round in circles about Mrs. Flood. I know you say you don't know, but we don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
No, I think you probably know something, you see.
I actually had someone who tried to blackmail me into telling them.
You did it?
About Mrs. Flood, yeah. And I have to tell you, I know nothing. It's the same. I'm just, you know what? My father used to say to me, if we were meant to know things, then we would know. And I think if I was meant to know about Mrs. Flood, I would know. So I'm just going to love playing all these characters and just roll with it.
Yeah. How have you found the reaction to your character? Because now people are starting to clock on that, oh, hang about. What's going on here? Who is she? What's all this about? Have they been chatting to you about it?
Well, it kind of went a bit viral, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And we went to the cinema and they had two stormtroopers, standing there, looking fabulous. And I said, oh, I covet them hugely. Do you want to sell them? And he went, no. I said, oh, OK, if you change your mind, call me.
Yeah.
And he went, tell me what's happening to Mrs. Flood and they're yours.
Fantastic.
And I said, no.
Yeah, no.
Trick of the light.
Next time on Doctor Who.
Your luck only takes 6. Doctor and Belinda with me, plus Troopers 1 to 3. Troopers 4 to 9 follow us in.
In this episode, the Doctor gets hands-on learning sign language.
My name is a doctor.
I'm really impressed. Normally, it takes on average about 7 years to become fluent in sign language. Well done.
Thanks to some new high-end kit.
Action!
The stunt team are flying.
Spot on.
Why am I wearing shorts in a quarry on a freezing February night shoot?
You do know we live in Wales, right?
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode. Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed. Well, have you come out from behind the sofa yet? No, me neither. But get ready for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the spine-tingling The Well. And if you don't want spoilers, then maybe do this.
No, please, no, stop, no.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell me, please. I don't need to know.
Ready? In this episode, the Doctor faces an unseen alien life force on a killing spree. But the beating heart of The Well is Alice, a character who we never 100% trust.
What did you do? What did you do? Just standing there!
Get back! but who still manages to pull our emotional heartstrings.
There's something behind me all the time. Now please, help me.
A very difficult balancing act to pull off, but the formidable Rose Ayling-Ellis nails it.
I'm really angry at her because her performance was so beautiful. It was so stunning.
That's what I do every single day.
And I was like, this is just a wasted performance that I'm giving. I was blown away by her talent.
Can you take me home?
I don't know how Rose did it because she was operating on 3 levels. To sign and speak at the same time is very difficult. And then to also have like in your head what you need to be doing as your character. I was like, that's so much to have in your head. And she just does it effortlessly.
Did you enjoy it when you got to read the script for the first time?
Yeah, it made me so excited because it's such a great character. It's such a complicated moment. It's a bit scary, it's a bit spooky. I love that she's hiding what she doesn't really want to tell, but she didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
And that just got me so excited.
A lot of your work before has been like on stuff, you know, like obviously EastEnders, being a sitcom and your theatre work. Is this the first time you've really done something like sci-fi like this, where we're in like a mining centre and on a planet, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually having the best time ever because of that video. I mean, the attention to the detail, my costume, the space state, it's really hard to act really sad when I'm actually deep down. I'm so excited for everything I do. It's just amazing. It really is.
What did you see?
BSL consultant Sarah Lawrence was brought in to support Rose, the cast and the crew.
For people who don't know what your role is today, tell us, what are you doing here?
I'm here, well, it's really interesting actually, because in Doctor Who, in the script, the character of the Doctor, actually signs, and there's also a deaf character in this episode. So my job has been to teach the Doctor how to sign, and while being on set, whilst they're recording, to make sure that signing is right.
On-set communication with Rose and much of her interaction with the Doctor was signed. That gave the cast and crew the opportunity to learn some BSL, British Sign Language.
Before we started filming, we did a deaf awareness course, which was really important, just to ensure that we understand the barriers that are in place when you are communicating with somebody who's deaf. For example, facing them when you're talking, don't just suddenly turn away.
Yeah.
Understanding how to work with an interpreter as well. And also there's been, it's quite a unique process that you don't come across every day if you aren't working with a deaf person. Just integrating those processes into working on set, it is completely different.
You learn stuff about the prejudices. There's moments when people turn their backs on Alice, and so they're deliberately shielding their lips from her, which makes her angry.
Don't turn your back on me. Please, don't turn your back on me.
Which is all very true. That's true, a real lived, authentic deaf experience. So we had Rose go through the entire script, and we actually had notes off her of course corrections of how to do things, how to phrase things, how to say things exactly.
Hi there. My name is a doctor. So I got the chance to learn BSL, which was amazing. And I think just such a more effective, beautiful, intentful way of communicating. You have to really commit yourself to communicating to who you're talking to. Was that okay? I did this, and I did name with 2 fingers.
I'm really impressed. He's very quick to learn sign language because normally it takes on average about 7 years to become fluent in sign language. So, and he was learning to sign after he'd finished shoot when he was already so tired. Well done.
I've never connected with another actor like this. This is such a different level of communication, and it's really beautiful. Why am I getting emotional?
He's going to become like a deaf icon because he's starring Name Me the Doctor. The deaf community would go mad over that, I think.
The Well saw the Doctor revisiting the scene of an iconic Doctor Who episode.
What is this planet called?
6767.
The old name.
400,000 years ago, what was the planet called?
It was called Midnight.
I've been here before.
Back in 2008, the 10th Doctor took a tourist trip on the planet Midnight, a beautiful but airless death trap covered in diamonds. Here, the passengers and crew and all the watching Whovians were terrorised by an unseen entity. Fast forward 400,000 years, and the 15th Doctor is back. The planet has been renamed 6767, all the diamonds have been mined, but that entity is still lurking.
Have you ever heard of the planet? What? I thought I saw.
But what's going on, Russell?
It's the sequel no one ever expected. And it's the kind of episode you should never do a sequel to. So that's where we went, frankly, right to that.
The interesting thing for me was that I watched that episode, and there are two things that are similar about Midnight.
Did you just...
One is that it's the same monster, even though he's sort of morphed.
What did you see? Just there, that ridge. Like a shadow, just for a second. What sort of shadow?
It's behaving slightly differently. It messes with you. It plays games.
Why are you repeating?
Why are you repeating? Another thing about Midnight is it's also a bottle episode in the sense that it's all set in the one small space, and within that are a bunch of people and the monster.
I can guarantee you everything's fine.
The creature in Midnight was only ever heard, not seen. In the well, it gets physical and deadly.
To me, this is the scariest monster that I've faced so far. I just think the way that Russell wrote it was terrifying, but really beautifully descriptive, but just an implication. It's your complete own interpretation as to what this monster actually is.
Oh, yes.
Oh, gosh, just reading it was very, like, it put shivers down your spine.
Action.
The monster has grown, the monster has learned, the monster has, like, and has been waiting for, like, a chance to get out and cause trouble. So I loved that it was, like, a bit of a continuation from Midnight.
The elements kind of said to me, like, it's a mining planet, and it's deserted, and it's deadly, and it's poisonous, and there's something hidden, as people have disappeared. All those scary things are in place.
This one's got a broken neck.
So that all just kind of, in the end, just kind of demanded. It said, actually, don't try to pretend this is something else. This is the same planet.
The one big difference between Midnight and The Well is that in the former, everyone was stuck inside a static space bus. But in the latter, they're free to run around like action heroes.
So is this what superhero V would look like? This is quite superhero-ish, isn't it?
It's so superhero-ish. It's actually kind of more like my bread and butter, like especially after doing a lot more like action things.
Yeah.
So when I put it on, I was like, I'm home. Actually, I had to kind of actively be like, no, this is Belinda, not other characters that I've played.
Characters that I may or may not have played in other franchises in the past.
That's also from Disney, yes.
Yeah, those ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the first day or something when we were running, it was very like action hero, and I was like, no, wait, I have to be a little bit more normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
cool.
it's been. I love this. I love this outfit.
Yeah.
Except going to the loo, going for a wee is.
Oh, is it?
It's very difficult.
I won't go into details, but it takes some time, does
It
it?
takes time. There's so many attachments and zips, and I was just, I need 3 people to. I need an entourage just to help me unclip and unzip.
That's just you in normal life. That's got nothing to do with the costume whatsoever.
It's actually just what I've written in my contract now.
Camera set. And action.
It's the 1st of February 2024, and in classic Doctor Who fashion, we're in a quarry in the night time. And yes, it is freezing cold. Some things just naturally belong together. Strawberries and cream, fish fingers and custard, the Doctor and quarries. For over 60 years, these rugged halls have been the go-to Doctor Who backdrop for a far-flung alien world. And tonight, this quarry just outside Bridgend in South Wales is about to become...
Ncuti's first quarry. It's kind of something you inevitably do. Who is your commanding officer back at base? And frankly, it's a Doctor Who homeland. It always works. So I like the fact also this is a mining planet. So it should look like a quarry. The whole surface used to be diamonds and now been mined. So you're not pretending this is a rocky planet. It's actually been mined. So that takes the edge off the quarryness of it. Yeah, love it.
Good. Tonight we're filming the scene where Vi and Ncuti, they've landed on the planet.
Oh, my God. Life with you.
I know. It's very atmospheric here. I've never been in a quarry before.
Nice, quiet.
Everybody's just setting up now. At the moment, they're talking through with the rest of the actors who play the troopers, talking through the scene with the director and the director of photography and everything over there. Oh, look at the helmets. Have you seen those helmets? That is way cooler than I was thinking it would be. Every one of the troopers has got their own person because they've got like all the boxes there. Each box is for a specific helmet, so they don't get mixed up or lost or whatever, because they've been made especially for each of the different actors. Every time they show cut, they are fast getting in there because it's cold, so they're getting those big coats on them to keep them warm. So it's a busy old quarry tonight.
And with so much going on down here, it's a perfect opportunity for me to dive in and learn about another role in the TV industry. For my work experience this episode, I'm joining trainee grip Rhys.
Well, thank you very much for having me along. Sorry. I guess the first place to start is, what's your job here today?
So I'm a grip trainee.
Yeah.
Anything the camera goes on, we supply that and we set it all up.
Cameras can be attached to tripods, dollies and cranes, and tonight I'm going to help Rhys lay a dolly track.
2 little track joiners, so they join the track, they go on the little bits.
Tidy.
See if we can work that one out.
Does this like go in hole
So
or
first
something?
of all...
Oh no, hang on, they clip on those?
They join those bits, so we're going to join the track
okay.
together.
Yeah.
There you go, and then you can tighten them with that. If
Oh,
they
I
don't
see.
stretch,
Okay, so they're on, so that stops it from like slipping and sliding away, right?
But that's not tight at the minute, see how loose that is?
Yeah.
And there's a little gap in the track. And the dollies are so sensitive, you'll feel that little bump.
Even the tiny little gap
Even the
that size?
tiniest little bump. So yeah, you've got to, other way. Just got to make sure that's...
Right.
So they're tight in there now. The next step now is to level it.
Okay.
So with leveling, or start at the high end.
What is it about being a grip that attracted you to do that job?
I think from a young age I've always wanted to be hands-on and doing stuff, and then later in life I developed that love for film and TV, and I was like, right, okay, that's something to do. Is there any way I can put 2 and 2 together? So I went to uni, studied film and TV.
Yeah.
I didn't really learn what a grip was in uni, but I did my own research and thought, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So went and did that for 2 weeks, and then, yeah, I got a job straight away and been doing it ever since, really. Every day of my job is different, and that's what I love about it. Like, you see people going to offices, they're sat down on the same desk, the same computer. Here, like, when do you get to come to quarry in the middle of the night? So thankful that I've fell into this. Bring it up there.
Yeah.
And then that's not far off.
That's
now.
pretty good, that's pretty
so
good.
So then, if you pass me that wedge,
Yeah.
It's a different job to everything else.
Yeah.
And you know, if you didn't work in the industry, you wouldn't understand what we do.
Yeah.
And it's quite hard to explain that to people sometimes. Pressure there, and that's bang on across.
Nailed
now.
it. But it's really important, right? Because obviously you've got all the jazziest cameras in the world, all the most experienced directors. If the camera doesn't stay on something, then it can't work, right?
No. The camera is always on something which we have to use. We have to do those jobs, you know what I mean? Like the dolly and stuff like that, we have to push it for the camera to move, for them to achieve a certain type of shot, or swing the crane to achieve, you know, the kind of different angles they need or whatnot. So it's always like, you're always hands-on, always, yeah.
What have you got on tonight? I know you've got one crane out, but what have you got? What else is going on for you tonight?
We're currently setting up a B camera shot, so we've got a dolly ready on standby.
So dolly, is that basically a camera on wheels?
Yeah, essentially. All right, boys.
As the trainee grip, Rhys is tasked with a range of jobs, from moving equipment and heavy lifting to more important stuff like taking the team's food orders.
Lamb, dauphinoise potato.
How do you spell dauphinoise?
But I've got one burning question about the job.
There's an elephant in the room as well, Rhys.
Okay.
We're the only 2 people here in shorts.
Yes, we are.
and I was told that I had to wear shorts to come work experience. What are we doing? It's February. It's the middle of the night. There's a vicious wind.
It's part of the uniform. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the industry's it's gripped uniform that it's like shorts all the time.
You do know we live in Wales, right?
Stand by.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. The stunts team take flight. Iron Mask, the real midnight creature. And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode. But first...
Helmets!
Accompanying the Doctor and Belinda on Planet 6767 was an 11-strong trooper unit.
I loved having them around. It was so much fun when there's like a gang to hang out with. It gives you that extra boost of energy.
Oh, it's just been everything and more. I'm such a big fan of the show. I've come in as like
She's so much fun to work with.
I am actually such a huge fan of the show. And I came in as a fan and I'm leaving as a bigger fan. Yeah.
All of the troopers we sent to Trooper Boot Camp.
Now, squad, shoot!
That whole element of the way they move, the way they come around corners, all of the protocol was all drilled into them by this ex-military guy who was on set with us. That was really fun for them to be able to bond on that military boot camp, but then also take that behaviour through.
Fantastic.
Then no sooner than they finished all that bonding and drill training, the creature starts taking them out.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, this, because it's the most brutal episode. There are nasty deaths in this. Actually, and there were dead bodies from the moment they entered that base. And we had a lot of conversations about, keep those bodies turned away from the camera. Don't make the bruises too great. Some of them been shot.
This one is laser fire.
So we're in a funny territory between acceptable deaths and non-acceptable deaths, which is flying through the air, propelled by a psychic force is somehow acceptable. The snapping of the bones, the thwack on the floor. You want a bit of that, you want the visceral pleasure of that, but actually you need to go easy on it as well. So actually, this is careful. There's 6-year-olds watching this.
All of the stunts needed to be carefully choreographed by stunt coordinator Derek and Max from the Wire team. To complicate things further, everything had to revolve around a very particular concept. In the script, Russell pinpoints each character's position in relation to Alice and the unseen creature, as if they were hours on a clock face.
So I definitely did not understand it when I read the script. I read that whole sequence as it being like, oh wow, that's really scary, loads of people die.
I kind of went, okay, well, we'll do that on the day. We'll get to that. That's not my business, really. I don't have a clue.
Still confused? Let's have Belinda explain it again.
It's like this. If this is Alice, and this is us, facing her now, there is something behind her. And if you go behind it, you die.
If it was a clock face, you die at midnight.
I have to say it took a while to get into my brain, but when we had rehearsal with Amanda, she actually had a drawn-out clock face with little toy soldier figures, so we actually understood what was going on and who would be flying where, who would be landing where. Yeah.
When you see it done, it's absolutely genius.
With the action routine mapped out, that meant Derek and Max could get to work. First thing, test the different wirings to be used for each stunt.
Yeah, keep that under tension. As soon as you start the ride, then bring it to life.
Next, prepare the nitrogen ratchet system. Seriously, I'm not making this up. It's used for fast acceleration and power.
Right, stand by. In 3, 2, 1, action! Spot on. So what we're trying to achieve now is just the last bit more energy going into the wall. Then I think we've got it nailed. But if you sort of shot that right down the line, you'd get away with that anyway. All right, well done, mate. All that's brilliant. It brings it to life.
Now it's time to try out the digital 4-point wire rig. This allows the team to pre-program repeatable and accurate flight paths into a computer.
We haven't used the winch system on Doctor Who before, but when this sequence came up, and it was Max's idea, to be honest, and he's just said it'd save so much more time if we used that system. Each wire has its own winch, so the same 4 wires can do every single person all around the set. So you don't have to keep moving rigs and changing wires, and then if people do change their mind and they want someone to start 2 foot nearer or 2 foot further back, it's easier to do than if they were on a conventional wire system.
Tests over, it's on to the real thing. Principal photography on the episode finished yesterday, so the stunt team can now take their time working through the long list of shots that they still need for the clock sequence.
3, 2, 1, action!
Because we're using the winch system and we rehearsed it and we've dialed everything in, this makes this so much easier. We just built it up slowly with sort of speed-wise, but they're landing in the same place every time.
I just love how it's been computer programmed, all the wire, so that they lift up in the exact same place and land at the exact same place. And it looks so gentle to land that their feet just go like that.
The last shot to get before the day wraps is a point of view angle from one of the flying troopers.
Here we go, shooting, and 3, 2, 1, action! Ah!
Not quite as high-tech technology as we used to, but it did look very good. It's him flying through the air holding a GoPro, it's quite cool.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, really good work. Really good work.
Oh.
It's great. It's excellent.
The Whoniverse prides itself on the fact that many of the baddies the Doctor encounters are physical, live-action characters. Not only are these creatures testament to the skills and talents of the teams who bring them to life, they're also invaluable for giving the actors something to react to.
What the hell?
But how do you get the cast in the right frame of mind when the foe is never seen? Well, you give a fright mask to Unleashed regular Paul Casey and tell him to go and scare the pants off him.
There's always that chance that there could be a shadow somewhere on a wall, or you may get a very small glimpse of him, but you never actually see him.
Yeah.
So their reaction should be real, right? Because there is something there. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to go all out to scare them. Absolutely, yeah.
To kind of help get Rose in that headspace, I had Paul Casey right behind her, and Rose was immediately like, oh, it was so creepy.
Thank you. With a green tree, you rely a lot of imagination. Oh, behind you, there's something there. But for him to actually wear a mask and come up, it worked. So it did me, okay, this is what Alice is experiencing.
First bit of interaction in, Paul.
She was definitely like freaked out by it.
That's the idea, though.
That's what's living behind it.
Yeah.
Luckily, Paul's a mate now, so he wouldn't try to scare me. But I am keen to find out if any of the Who crew have had any weird or spooky experiences.
When I was very young, I woke up at night and saw lights outside my window.
You did?
Yeah. It was definitely coming from above. And
Oh.
In my bedroom, this is when I was a teenager, I just had the distinct feeling that there was a person in the room. But it was so strong, that feeling, that I was like, I'm actually too scared to open my eyes and look.
When I was a little kid, we went to Special Secret Bunker over in Dover.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I thought I saw someone in an army uniform, and I was like, oh, that's cool, they've got people dressed up here. So when I spoke to one of the people that works in the front desk, I was like, oh, is there people dressed up here, like walking around? She said, no. And I was like, oh. She said, you're the only people in the tunnels. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
It was like around mid-morning, I remember, because I checked my phone, it's like 6 a.m. It's
Yeah.
the weekend, why am I waking up?
Why are you up at 6 in the
that
morning?
time? But like, I just felt like my whole body sort of like Caesar. And then something with like 3, like almost like a claw, like try and claw at my face. And then like I just woke up immediately after that and I was like, that is really creepy.
So basically I woke up in the middle of the night, I went to the toilet and I left my door open so you could see it in my hallway.
Yeah.
And then on the side there was like a wooden boat that was decoration and I saw it move across. And then I sort of went, no, stop. I put the light on and it just stopped in a different spot. I got so scared, I ran into bed and I hid. And then I felt someone was like pushing it down to my back, like lying against my back.
Like this.
And then I felt the clicking in my sort of across me. And I thought, it's my brain playing trick, my brain playing trick. Then I did research about it the next day, and apparently when you shut your eye, and because I'm deaf, your brain starts using other senses to try and make sense of the environment.
Right.
And I think because I woke up in the middle of the night, my eyes started playing trick on me.
Oh, it was a ghost.
No. Right, bye-bye.
Thankfully, despite all the scary stories and weird experiences, I've managed to navigate the day without getting scared at all.
I've been practicing my dive fall. I've been practicing how I land.
Are you going big?
I am. I'm trying my best to just...
Oh my goodness me. Don't do that to me, Paul. You horrible man. No. Stop that. I can't go with this. I'm off. Goodbye. This wasn't in my contract. Oh, the movements are just... It's so
It's just the
crazy.
movements that makes it creepy.
Did I get you? You did get me. Good. Trying to keep together. This is the... Hands that we're going to show. Bye, Paul.
Next time on Doctor Who.
This week, I found someone who knows its secrets. In fact, she's even been inside it, and I'm going to ask her to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ruby Sunday.
In this episode...
It wants you scared and running and pumping with adrenaline.
we welcome back good friends.
The trauma that Ruby went through, it is really cool to see how she's dealing with that.
It's very loud. It looks cool.
We reveal how to shoot a helicopter action sequence in just 3 hours.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
It has been a chore getting to know you.
Guest star Jonah Howard-King reveals why he loves playing Conrad.
It's just really fun being horrible.
And spoiler alert, stand by for that exclusive clip from the next episode. Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed. Welcome.
Hello.
To the insider's guide to all things Who. Today we're going to unlock Lucky Day, the 4th episode of Season 2. It's November 2023 and at Wolf Studios, the Who crew are shooting Lucky Day, back to back with episode 1 of the season, The Robot Revolution. Action. So whilst the Doctor and Belinda are dealing with retro robots on stage 3, on stage 1, we've got the return of a fellow partner in time.
I am Ruby Sunday. Actually, no, sorry, wrong way round. I'm Millie Gibson, and I play Ruby Sunday.
Ruby Sunday, the companion who stepped away from the TARDIS in the Season 1 finale, Empire of Death, to spend time with her newly extended family.
Will I ever see you again?
Of course you will. Of course you will.
So how does it feel to be back?
It's weird. I mean, it's such a nice growth with both me and my character because, you know, she's got a new look, she's got a family now, she's not with the Doctor anymore, which is really weird for her. So it's a whole new side of Ruby that I think we've not seen before, but it's been so cool to explore.
This is a script we always had planned. We knew when we left Ruby behind on Earth that that was not the end of... We love Millie, we love working with her, we love that character. We always planned that we would come back and we'd find out what happens to a companion after life with the Doctor has gone and how vulnerable are you?
I think I'm in shock. Because what happened last year was just not normal.
But the episode is really interesting because it's dealing with like companion post-Doctor and like the PTSD that comes with traveling with an alien that travels through time and space and battles a lot of monsters.
I just need some time to get my head around it.
Even though Ruby is absolutely a survivor and is the hero of this in the end, you can't deny that once you've seen those vistas, once you've been to those planets, once you've seen death on that scale, once you've seen life on that scale, you are going to be in a state of shock. It's still a rich area to explore, like what's the psychological effect on someone who's traveled in time and space. You could explore that forever. We've actually done it very rarely. So this is an opportunity to take Millie and to explore that. I just think this can go on forever.
How was that, coming back to Ruby then, having said goodbye to her at the end of series 1? You're now coming back to her, yeah.
We've just got such an instant chemistry. And very quickly we were like, we really are troubled together. We're not... we are at... It took us maybe 2 seconds for us to start breaking pieces of set and just being just general mischief makers.
Yeah.
And that was very fun.
Working with Shoot, you can just click back to your normal rhythm with each other, and that's what's so beautiful about working with him. Hello? Yeah, it was a breath of fresh air when I had that day with Shoot. It was like, oh my God, back to our old ways.
Cardiff City Centre, Friday the 24th of November 2023. Over the years, the city streets and landmarks have served as backdrops to countless adventures in time and space. Today, the Who crew are hard at work filming one of the episode's earliest scenes.
I know!
Looks like a big, important, serious meeting that they're having. They're probably asking what's for lunch.
I'm here to catch up with Jonah Hauer-King, who's playing love interest turned love rat conspiracy theorist Conrad. Most famous for playing Prince Eric in the live-action adaptation of Disney's The Little Mermaid, playing Conrad is a bit of a tone shift.
How pleased are you that you get to play a villain?
It's probably the biggest, maybe the single biggest reason why I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great character. It's so brilliantly written.
The grown-ups are talking!
I've played roles more like the nice version of Conrad.
Yeah.
I've sort of been there, done that. And when they sent it to me, they mentioned it was a villain role. And so I got excited and then started reading it and thought, am I right? Is this the right script? Like, what's going on here? You know, you believe this relationship and you believe their love, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it has that amazing turn. And I was completely gripped.
What the hell is going on?
We are think tank. Exposing the lies perpetuated by UNIT. By you.
And it's just really fun being horrible because, like, that's not how you should be all the time, obviously,
That's
ever.
a tagline for the rest of your
Exactly.
career.
It's great to be horrible.
It's really fun being horrible.
Yeah. And it's a challenge as well because
Yeah.
he is so far from me, I guess, and like how we would want to act. And
Yeah.
so going to that place is an acting challenge and it's just, yeah, it's fun.
It has been a chore getting to know you.
With filming on the street complete, the Who crew flat pack the TARDIS and move on to the next location, giving me the chance to grab a chat with the writer of Lucky Day, Pete McTighe.
You've written for Doctor Who before. What's different this time around to the work on the previous series for you?
I guess it's just a very different energy. This is quite a Doctor-like episode, so for me that was really exciting actually, because some people would kind of go, "Oh, you don't."
Right,
you have an
Doctor
episode-
Who, there's no much
there's no
Doctor in it. Yeah.
But actually, it's kind of freeing to not have the Doctor because it's more dangerous. Straight away, if the Doctor's not around, the stakes are higher. Because,
Oh, right, I hadn't thought of it like that
yeah,
before.
Yeah, he's not around to kind of rescue people. So
Yeah.
that's been the challenge and the kind of gift of this episode is being able to have an adventure without the Doctor where people are genuinely in more danger because he's not around.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, right,
Let's go.
Time and the Doctor wait for no one, and Pete and I are ushered away to the next location, which might be somewhat familiar to watching Whovians. Department store, Central Cardiff, mannequins.
This is Howells. This is a very famous location in Wales,
Yeah.
in Cardiff, and it's the corner of Howells
was the store that Billy Piper worked in episode 1, season 1.
Back in 2005, when the BBC and Russell T Davies brought back Doctor Who, the very first episode, Rose...
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
...saw the Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, and his new companion, Rose, played by Billy Piper, come face to face with classic Doctor Who baddies, the Autons. 2 decades later, director Peter couldn't resist some sly nods to the past.
Do you like playing with audience expectations?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a massive fan. I've been a fan since I was about 4. We were in a shop. It felt like, why are we not putting mannequins into this shop? I love it. I mean, they're just the creepiest things ever. And especially if you see, like, the shadows. And I think we're going to have one rocking. It's just going to let go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So.
The last scene of the day in the old department store puts Jonah in a rather sticky situation.
I thought they would have just like mixed it up in a random little pot. But Doctor Who being Doctor Who, it's a whole process. And they went away. They made this specifically, and it's come in a pot called Shriek Secretion.
Love it.
Which is brilliant.
See? Told you. Oh, okay. That's even that right.
This is Shriek Secretion in all its glory.
Very delicate work, this, isn't it? You're not just slopping it on.
No, not just slopping it on. Just.
What about gloopy it is?
Yeah, it's got a bit of glitter in it as well. So.
it has, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could be all the rage.
It could be
starting a new trend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's definitely vaguely artistic in some way.
Shriek Secretion.
Shriek Secretion.
Amazing.
Get to know. Yeah.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. I'm moving like the clappers on my work experience.
We're about to go for a take.
This thing shrieks havoc on set. And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive sneak peek at the next episode of Doctor Who. But first... Also returning for the first time this season, Unit, led by Kate Lethbridge-Stewart.
We're on our way. Divert the nearest ground crew to Colston Village. We'll take the helicopter.
And what an entrance they make, swooping in to rescue Ruby, Conrad and the local residents from a pair of bloodthirsty Shriek.
Kate, there's 2 of them at least.
Shot over 3 nights in the South Wales village of Newton, a small army of cast, crew and supporting artists set up camp at the location.
That is the keys for the schoolroom. I've got the keys to the church. Lovely churches behind you. Then I've also got the keys for the pub over there. Security has got the keys for this pub. It's just there's so many moving parts here, and we are so spread out as well. So it's been a fun one, and we've got ridiculous road closures and. It's been really interesting talking to people in the village because they're really excited and want to know how much prep goes into all of this. But it wasn't until I sat down the other day and realised per block we have an allocated budget for 6 weeks, and we spent 2/3 of that budget on 3 nights filming here. So it just gives you an idea of quite how much we've got going on. But it's great fun.
And the centrepiece of all the fun will see Unit's Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, Shirley Ann Bingham and Colonel Ibrahim land on the village green in a helicopter.
Right, okay guys, start locking down please. In your positions, thank you. Locking down.
When the rotor blades are spinning, we can't move. So basically everyone clears back. We've got a very useful village green wall and everyone stays behind it, and then this thing can come and go as it pleases while that's happening, and we have to wait for the rotor blades to fully stop before we can move.
The Who crew have got 3 hours to capture 3 shots. Shot number 1, a simple takeoff and landing. Shot number 2, a bit more risky, with a camera operator filming out of the open cargo door. But it's shot number 3 that everyone's most eagerly anticipating. The moment when Kate and Unit walk away from the helicopter.
Sam and Peter, Micah, if you can be with the cameras, make sure you're letting us know when they're up and running. Dev, I know you're getting Shriek ready, but if you can stick with the cast as well, please. Charlotte and Ash, just spread out. That'd be amazing, thank you.
That was exciting, wasn't it? Oh, and it's that we weren't in it.
Oh, no.
But no, we've had this conversation. No, both of us were quite frightened of it.
Helicopters aren't for me, and I'm not for helicopters. But that was very cool.
It was a very cool shot and a really cool entrance for you, Nick, I think. Yeah, I might take it home. What's next?
What, stepping out of a helicopter and walking down the street next to one of the most beautiful churchyards under a full moon. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That'll do.
We'll take that.
In past episodes of Doctor Who, real-life presenters and their shows have crossed over into the Whoniverse. Trisha Goddard appeared in Army of Ghosts.
You are in love with a ghost.
BBC Breakfast presenters Bill Turnbull and Sian Williams interviewed Charles Dickens in The Wedding of River Song.
Oh, we love a ghost story.
Newsnight's Emily Maitlis appeared in Revolution of the Daleks.
You took a big risk.
And in this episode, The One Show and Alex Jones join the canon. Although for Jonah, who's appeared on The One Show numerous times as himself, sitting on the famous sofa as his character Conrad is a bit discombobulating.
I've been trying to explain it to people and they haven't really been able to get their head around it. I think I said, I'm doing The One Show as my character. They said, oh, are they like putting it out live? Is this some kind of like weird stunt as like, promotion? I said, no, it's in the show, it's not live, and I'm kind of now getting myself confused. But yes, he's my character is doing the media rounds, and obviously doing stuff like this gives it that level of authenticity, and it is kind of meta because, yeah, obviously it's BBC and on the BBC, and it's all kind of like breaking the fourth wall a bit. So yeah, it's sort of a funny feel because we're like a skeleton crew today. The main unit are on back in Cardiff, and we've sort of scuttled away here. We've got Vicky, our producer, we've got Russell over there in the back, he's hiding somewhere in a yellow coat, and it's kind of like a school trip. It's really fun. It sort of doesn't feel like a normal filming work day. It feels like the rules seem a bit different. It's all more relaxed and chilled. It's quite fun.
5, 4, 3.
You took a big risk. We can see on the video that our soldiers literally pointing their guns at you.
That's how they suppress us, with fear. Meanwhile, they're working against us.
When Doctor Who said that they'd like to film here, I was super excited. I mean, it is absolutely iconic. It's been around forever, even before me, which it's hard to find those items these days. But I was so excited that they wanted to film at the One Show studio, and we've had lots of shows filming here and myself playing myself, but this is by far the most exciting one.
It's an absolute moment.
Come on.
Mum said.
I know. Yes, it's like
the only time you lose your drama degree. All that money Alan we paid.
She's cruel, your mother.
I know she is.
She's an awful woman. She never leaves me alone.
But
get my daughter on Doctor Who, she said.
Yeah, get her on Doctor Who. Let's use the money we paid. No, but thank you. It is really special.
School trip over, it's back on the bus up to Cardiff. Right, it's that time of the episode now where I stop prancing around being a presenter, I roll up my sleeves and get on with some hard graft. Yes, it's work experience time. Now, previously on Doctor Who Unleashed, I spent some time with Kutsai doing work experience as a camera trainee, and I think we can all agree that that went really rather well.
It's shocking. This is unbelievable.
So given that, the camera department have agreed that I can go back. But this time, we're going to step it up a level. Today, I'm going to be working alongside Evangeline and Sarah, who are both clapper loaders. Having worked their way up from camera trainee, their job is the next step up in the camera department. Talk to me about your particular job in the team. What do you do? How does it fit with everyone else?
So the main job that everyone would probably notice is the board.
So you're in charge of this?
I'm the one that puts this on. Or got an even smaller one.
A baby one?
Baby board,
Look
which
at
everyone loves.
Yeah, that is
every
cool.
time that comes out.
So since we're on the clappers, talk to me about what I've got to do then. Because sometimes I've seen you clapping. I've also seen you clapping upside down.
That's an end board. So you can have a front board and an end board.
Right.
If they see this upside down, that's the end of the clip.
Right.
And if they see it that way, they know it's going to be the start of the clip.
Okay, makes sense.
The clapperboard is an iconic bit of kit and is crucial on any TV and film set.
Yes.
The moment it is closed is captured by both the camera and the microphones and is used by the editor to match up the pictures and sound.
Or a sounded one.
If you come in and know nothing about films or telly, everybody knows about the board.
Yeah.
So you're in charge of it?
That is me. We've got 2 cameras on the job all the time.
Yeah.
So Sarah will have one who's on the A camera team, and
Yeah.
I've got one for the B camera.
Right.
There you are, okay.
And so how does this job differ from what I was doing last time? You were obviously started off as a camera trainee, right? And you're working
Yeah.
your way up.
So you've got a bit more responsibility. You
Yeah.
assist the focus pullers a lot more.
Right.
With putting lenses on, changing filters and stuff,
Yeah.
and putting cards in the camera.
All right, so but I know that sounds simple, but that's really important, isn't it?
Yes.
That's where they, like, all the stuff gets recorded on
Yeah.
and everything. So if you do that wrong,
You
then...
might have to redo the whole day.
Which would cost a
Yeah,
fortune.
so don't do that.
Yeah, so you're putting, like, lenses, and those lenses...
Yeah.
I mean, we got one here, like, that's worth a lot of money, isn't it?
So don't drop them either.
Did you always think, oh, I wanted to work with cameras?
I want to be an operator, so...
Yeah, so you're working, that's the goal, is it?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. And so, but you've got to go through these steps to get to that point?
Yeah, you don't have to, but I think it's better to, because you understand all the roles on the camera department a bit more.
Yeah.
As a clapper loader, one of the main jobs is to mark up the clapper board with the correct information for the scene that is being shot.
So I've got the date, obviously.
Yeah.
The scene then goes in there, so we're on episode 4,
Yeah.
scene 19 and 20, and then whatever slate we're on there will go there, takes goes there.
Can we dry run this?
Yes. 550 is next.
550.
Yeah.
And say now take 1.
I'd say it's a bit too small.
Oh, would you go bigger?
I'd go a bit bigger than that.
Okay. Oh.
550. There we are. Perfect.
So you'd walk out in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Hold that there.
Always have the sticks already open though.
Sticks already open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not that open.
Okay, no, that. So sticks a little bit
That-
open.
yeah, that's fine.
So I walk out, hold this in front of the camera,
And then you sound speed.
and then I clap.
No.
No, then I say, slate 550.
You don't
take.
have to say slate
Okay,
either.
just say the numbers.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good tips. This is good. 550. Take 1.
And then I'll pretend to be the focus puller and say, mark it. There you are.
And then I walk off.
And then get out of there.
Just 2 numbers.
Yeah.
The slate, the number. What could, I mean...
What could go wrong?
What indeed? I'm heading on to set where Evangeline is handing me over to Sarah for my clapper debut. First things first, the slate and the take number.
551 next.
How big do you go?
Big, as big as you can. So it's easy to read for the editors. That's beautiful.
Look at that. Beautiful. There we are.
Beautiful.
And then we're saying take 1, right?
Yeah, take 1. You're first up.
Next, where am I supposed to stand?
So I'm 5 foot.
Yeah, you're 5 foot.
So my wingspan is 5 foot. So if you were about, say here,
Here,
would be
okay,
fine.
fine.
And then
So-
a cheat is if you look down the lens,
Yeah.
you can see your own reflection.
Oh, there he is.
So you want to be about here.
There.
Yeah.
Same.
But you look silly looking down the lens.
Yeah,
everyone can
I
see you.
mean, I've made myself look plenty silly loads of times. So that's fine.
Right, time to do this thing.
There.
No pressure.
I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because there's a lot of people now relying on this to work. So I'm going to be there. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Are you all right with that?
It certainly is.
And I want to do it much louder than that.
That's fine.
Are you happy with that?
You can go bigger.
Do you reckon go bigger than that?
Yeah,
you happy
way
with that?
Bigger. Yeah.
There we are. Okay, fine. Just checking that you're comfortable with that, so we're all on the same page.
We're about to go for a take.
I don't mind admitting,
Here we go then, please. Thank you. Rolling, please.
I'm clapping my pants right now.
So speak.
551, take 1.
Beautiful. Oh,
I think I might have nailed that first time. Right, yeah, so that was it. Just on my clapping, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm very pleased, I'm very relieved, and a tiny little bit smug that it went so well. Because let's be honest, the last time I was with the camera department, it was a disaster. This is much better. Clapperboards, the way forward. End board.
Okay, lock it down outside then, please. Lock it down, nice and quiet everywhere. I'm set.
If, like me, you were floored by the Conrad plot twist,
we are think tank.
I think we can put that down to a brilliant script and Jonah's fantastic performance. But be honest, how long did it take you to figure it out that these Shriek were in fact fake Shriek?
They're not Shriek.
Got ya. Throughout the history of Doctor Who, the show has worked hard to make sure the aliens and creatures don't just look like people dressed up in rubber suits. Mostly succeeding, but sometimes, perhaps not.
People always talk about Doctor Who, they talk about shaky sets and rubber monsters. You know, in the 70s there was very much that kind of feel. There was it was a low budget feel.
However, for this red-eyed, creepy creature, the design team at Millennium FX were challenged with a slightly different approach.
It's kind of an odd thing where you're building a rubber monster and then someone says, right, build a rubber monster of the same rubber monster, but it's a rubbish rubber monster, and that one's real and this one's a bit rubbish. So it's like, how rubbish is it? And at the same time, it's still got to look like it can pass for real within the story. So that was actually really difficult to nail how that worked.
For the real Shriek suits, Neil and his team used the same high tech they would normally employ. The design was sculpted in clay on a 3D print of the actor's head and body. Fiberglass molds were then cast from the clay and injected with silicone, and finally painted by hand. The real Shriek was then crowned with its own animatronic head.
So I got some eyelids that can make him blink. He can get dizzy. Whoa. This is kind of as soft as he can get. This is kind of 0.
Yeah.
And this is kind of 100.
Wow.
It's gross and gorgeous.
Yes, at the
I
same
think.
time.
Yeah.
For the fake Shriek, they really had to put their heads together.
We got the final design and we got a sculptor in and let him look at it once and just went, there it is. Right, you have a few hours to sculpt that from memory. And what that meant is he ended up just hitting the main points, but all the detail was kind of lost. So it was someone's impression of the Shriek. Then for the fake Shriek's head, we just went with older processes. So it was a clay sculpture, a plaster mold, and just stiff latex rubber. So it moves like an old rubber mask, because it is an old rubber mask.
For a cosplay costume, they're amazing. That's got to be difficult though, hasn't it, really? Like, how do you make something look bad, but it's still got to look really good? That's quite a challenge, I think, for Millennium. But they nailed it, again.
The next step was to work out how the two different types of Shriek would move.
And we've cut there, thank you. Hello.
Movement's always an important thing. You can build this fabulous looking thing, and if it can't move, it sort of loses impact. For the fake Shriek and the real Shriek, you're trying to get that movement different. So when you see the real Shriek, you don't feel it's a human being in a suit, but when you see the cosplay one, that's one of the giveaways. It is people wearing a rubber outfit.
It's always strange chatting to someone in this sort of get-up, I'm not going to lie to you. So I don't know what it's like being that person.
Well, I mean, this particular suit kind of feels like wearing a full-body resistance band.
Oh, does it? So you're working really hard?
Yeah, to do that. Sort of, the whole thing is just trying to pull me in like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just really warm, which is handy because it's winter.
It's November, it's Cardiff, it's freezing.
Yeah.
When you read The Shriek and you realised a lot of this was going to be on all fours, were you thinking, yes, or were you thinking, oh gosh, that sounds like a lot of hard work?
No, I like crawling's not too bad. It's quite fun. And we came up with different versions of the movement before we had finalised on the creature. So in a way, we came up with it. And it's like I'm my own worst enemy. So every time we're like, oh, I could do this. It's more difficult, but it looks better.
Yeah.
And then you get a note and I go, I need to make it more difficult. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Stop doing this to yourself.
Just go with the easy one.
Yeah.
What's it like performing this blind? Because you are you can't really see much. When the mouth's closed, you can't see anything.
The mouth is closed, I pretty much can't see anything.
Right.
So in here, I've got a little earpiece.
Yeah.
And Paul.
So you've got Paul in your ear?
If I can't see what I'm doing, he's like going, turn left, a bit more left, head up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, now walk forward 3 steps.
And it's definitely teamwork between myself, Gethin and Rachel, who's puppeteering the face.
yeah, it's all teamwork.
So how about a demonstration then?
That is actually really freaky. I'm gonna go this way. You carry on. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, gosh.
On the next episode of Doctor Who.
And 3, 2, 1.
In this episode,
We're in Lagos.
we'll show you how we built a Nigerian market in Wales. I go to Barry to reveal what's occurring between Doctor Who and Gavin and Stacey. And spoiler alert, we've got you that exclusive clip from the next episode.
Welcome.
Here we are then, just over halfway through the series. So far, we've had an angry AI, creepy cartoons, an unexpected sequel, and caught up with an old friend.
Incredible.
But despite the Doctor's best efforts with his Vindicator, we're still no closer to Belinda getting home. And we're still no nearer to finding out who Mrs. Flood is. For this instalment of Unleashed, we're heading behind the scenes of The Story and the Engine, a hair-raising episode set in a Nigerian barbershop on the back of a giant space spider powered by stories. In other words, just another day in the Whoniverse.
If you put it like that.
So just where did the idea come from?
I'd always wanted an episode set in Africa, and me and Russell had been speaking about Inua since the minute that I got cast. I just really wanted him to be a writer on Doctor Who, and Russell was so up for it, and I was like, yes.
Well, I've been watching Doctor Who since I was a kid in Nigeria, since I was 10 years old, quivering behind the sofa, watching Daleks run rife everywhere. I've been toying with the idea of a Doctor Who episode or series, primarily because Nigeria is a very superstitious people, and the Doctor flirts around with superstition, but also magic and where that meets science and science fiction. So in my head, I've just been playing with this.
Wait, you're on the missing posters. All of you.
I'm a huge fan of Russell's work, so I just slid into his DMs on Instagram saying, "Hi Russell, I'm excited about what you do next."
Welcome. I've been expecting you.
And Russell responded within an hour saying, "Inua, I'm a fan of your work, come on, write for us."
Inua, the great joy of working with Inua Ellams. I went to the National, I saw his play, The Barbershop Chronicles, and I went to see that, and I loved that play. I loved it so much. So the trick was to take the show to him and say, there we go, put that into your world. And I just thought, I couldn't stop thinking, what about the Doctor walked into that barbershop?
Omar! Doctor, hey! Told you he would come.
What is it about the barbershop as a location for storytelling and it's sort of its part in sort of Nigerian culture?
Yeah. When I was researching the play, I traveled across sub-Saharan Africa just interviewing barbers and their clients, but the same pattern of relationships between barbers and clients kind of came up. And what the barbershops tended to represent, to give to these men, is a place to hold court, to tell stories, to relax, to be beautified by other men. And there are many other places where that can happen. You know, where men can hold each other, touch each other's necks, look in each other's eyes through the mirror. And there are these subtle shifts in power and dynamics that unfold naturally. And it's like peeling off layers. The more you do so, the more you get to the identity of the person in the chair.
Yeah.
And therefore men can be really open.
Barbershop? The TARDIS does your hair.
It does. It does. I don't go there for cuts. It's hard to explain. You go there to be free, to feel like you are part of a community. Those spaces are such community spaces for Black people to do exactly what the Doctor wants to do in that episode, which is go chill, laugh, joke, catch up on life events.
We laugh, we tell stories, they
treat you like one of their own.
Yeah.
And I think stories in general is a very human thing, but it's very important to African cultures. There's always a tale being told in the barbershop, or someone's got something to say.
Once upon a time.
While the Doctor spends most of this episode hanging out at the barbers with the boys, Belinda is stuck on a highly alarmed TARDIS, about to undergo a journey of her own.
Are we under attack? TARDIS! Hello?
From reluctant companion to a time-travelling champion. A good moment for me to catch up on set with Varda.
That stuff, you're just filming it now and you have to, being scared and all the lights are changing and stuff. Was that was a bit different for Belinda?
Yeah, it was quite interesting because the whole scene where the Doctor's saying, this is my favourite place, I love coming to the barbershop, and Belinda has a moment where she can, all she wants all the time is to just go home.
Yeah.
And that is her intention, her motivation for everything is get me home, I want to go back to my life. But this is the first time that because she's gone so attached to the Doctor and actually really cares about him and his happiness.
Yeah.
And she wants him to have that because she loves him, really.
Yeah.
She's like, no, actually, I really want to go home, but all right, fine. No, go have your moment. So they get separated.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see Belinda come into her own, actually completely on her own in this episode, because it's the first time they've been separated and then things go wrong and then she has to rescue the Doctor.
Yeah, that's quite a nice dynamic change, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even hesitate. He's in danger. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
She's taken the what's the word I'm looking for?
Impetus.
Impetus. That's the word.
It's a good word, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why that popped in my head.
That's what I was looking for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've spent too much time together now.
Yeah, I know.
It's just
finishing each other's sentences.
That was awkward, isn't it?
Yeah. She takes the impetus to go out and save him.
Yeah.
She's got enough self-confidence and also, obviously, the other motivation is without the Doctor, how is she going to get out?
Yeah.
That's the other
I'm saving you, but also saving me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really nice to see her come into her own and her own confidence.
Every episode of Doctor Who has got something unique about it, and with the story and the engine, it's the fact that this is the first ever episode of Doctor Who set entirely in modern-day Africa.
In the Nigerian city of Lagos. To keep everything looking and feeling authentic, the team explored filming in Lagos.
But to fly 200+ cast and crew all the way out to Africa would have been eye-wateringly expensive.
So it was decided that if we couldn't take Cardiff out to Lagos, then we'd have to bring Lagos back to Cardiff. And except for the drone shots at the top of the episode, which were shot in Lagos, everything else was created here at Wolf Studios.
How important was it to get that story done right in the sense that it was so authentic, so people who are watching it in Nigeria, people with Nigerian heritage, feel like it's a story for them?
I think it's really important. I mean, I come from a Caribbean background, but obviously hail from Africa.
Yeah.
I contributed quite a lot to conversations about how we could make it authentic.
Yeah. And how do you do that?
I think it came down to making sure that we had some flavour of Lagos and that, the market would actually be true to
that set was amazing, wasn't it?
So, it was absolutely brilliant, but also that it would tie in, so working closely with art department, with director, with all the whole team, the producers, deciding that we would, make sure that there was, at the very least, a connectivity between Lagos and our set.
So is there an added element of pressure to make it work?
Well, yeah, I mean, with any Doctor Who or with any story you're telling, you want to make sure that you get it absolutely right. I think that's really important. For us, I mean, we've brought in consultants, so we've had a specific Nigeria consultant who's been able to sort of give us a guide, different departments, make sure that they understand what would be authentic.
So where did the Doctor Who team come to find their expert in Nigerian culture? Well, Barry Island, of course.
Gavin and Stacey isn't the only tidy thing to come out of Barry. Born and raised in Lagos, Taye Omokore now lives in the well-lush Welsh seaside town and has been the team's main Nigeria consultant.
This episode is very specifically Nigeria, very specifically Lagos. It's not broader than that.
Yeah.
So it needs to feel rooted in those communities.
Absolutely. Yeah. Market is a big part of Nigeria, you know. That's why it was really important to get the details right, because I've seen other movies or other series or other where they will shoot something about Africa or Nigeria that doesn't really feel African.
Yeah.
And I guess that is where Doctor Who is coming into, you know, say, you know, we want to do something different, we want to make this better. We want people to feel like, you know, they're connected to this. We don't want Nigerians to see things and be put off. So, and I think they've done a good job at that. Yeah. For a story to be authentic, it needs to be told by the people that have lived it, that have experienced it, that have, you know, gone through this. So I think it was important for someone from Nigeria to do that, and I'm honored to be in that position, to be able to, you know, represent my people back home and, you know, raise the flag, yeah.
Taye wasn't the only consultant. Aryan Bakari, the actor playing the barber, needed to learn how to cut hair.
Welcome to my establishment. Your establishment.
The man to train him, F. Onyebule.
This man right here is going to be an evil barber.
I am going to be an evil barber.
Don't look at the face, he's an evil barber. So basically, I've been barbering for over 21 years. I started when I was a little boy at the age of 11, and I also teach people in the film and TV how to do afro hair, just like we're doing today.
Arya needs to learn the art of cutting afro hair as he'll be doing it for real in camera as part of his role as the barber.
Not easy.
The pressure's on to get it right.
You see, so you just have to get on this arrow. So to do that, you want to bring it this way, stand in the front, stand the front, go that way.
One slip of the clippers and he could scalp one of his fellow actors.
Glide from here, because like they did now. You go out from here and there. Yeah.
But it seems Aryan is a natural.
So if everybody wants to come to my barbershop in the next couple of weeks, yo, you're ready, man. Be a bit posh.
As you can see, we made a barber in one day.
Yeah,
that is incredible. And he done that all by himself today. First time handling the clipper and the trimmer, he was able to do that.
So yeah, I think I kind of...
He's ready.
I hope I'm ready.
Sign him up.
But how would Aryan and his clippers fare on the big day?
And stood at the door with a hosepipe, spraying and spraying until all the fires went out.
No sweat. Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. This isn't their first appearance in the Whoniverse, but can you guess which characters Sule and Aryan have played before? I'll be serving up some hot stuff on my work experience.
Did you want a hash brown as well? Of course.
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode of Doctor Who. But first...
Just like you'd expect with any season of Doctor Who, there's been quite a few creepy characters so far.
A.I. Allen, he was pretty creepy.
Join with me in ecstasy and freedom.
I'm Mr. Ring-a-ding.
Mr. Ring-a-ding, he was A-star creepy. The unseen creature in the well. Well creepy.
I think you're amazing.
And then there was Conrad in Lucky Day. Super smug, gaslight creepy.
But for me, there is nothing creepier in the whole known Whoniverse than spiders, okay? I think I've got an actual, genuine phobia. I don't trust the way they move and the way they look at you with their 8 little beady eyes.
So the fact that this whole ep is set on a spider's back, ugh,
Anyway, surely I'm not the only person here with a phobia.
I wouldn't say I've got a
phobia, but I hate flies.
What?
There's something about flies that just make me feel ill. Just no.
Maybe I think snakes.
Oh, snakes are
great.
Because they slither funny as well, don't they?
Yeah, and like they just look evil.
Toads.
Toads?
Yeah, got a phobia of toads.
What? Toads, not frogs, or toads and frogs?
Just a bit of both, really. Yeah, just the texture and yeah, just don't like it. I remember, I think the phobia started when I was on a caravan holiday, and I stepped out the caravan and there was one like landed on my foot.
And now you're scared of them?
Yeah.
They're probably scared of you as well.
Yeah, they probably are. Hopefully, yeah.
Mice?
Mice, yeah.
Why mice?
I remember when I was really young, there was a mouse underneath my pillow and I hated it. I screamed and sort of just screamed my head off. But also I remember at work, not recently, but let's just say about the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There was a mouse in a workplace I was working in and I stood on the chair. It was a proper classic, like Mickey Mouse, like, ah!
Maybe spiders, if they're running at you.
At you?
Yeah, yeah. If they're living in the house, that's okay. If they're in the corner and I know where they are, that's okay. When they start moving towards you, that's an issue.
Yeah.
So maybe.
So you're going to struggle with this episode as well?
Yeah, big time.
It's a really irrational one, but it's like crabs and lobsters.
What's wrong with the crab?
Oh, I just hate them. I hate that
The little nice little happy little claws and...
Yeah, that's...
No?
It's not for me.
Not
you'll
your
have
bag.
to say, when I go to the seaside, I genuinely struggle to relax fully even if I see one that's like miles away, because it's like, oh, they're crawling underneath me.
All right, so you haven't read that episode with
No.
the... Okay.
No. No.
These lips are sealed.
There's no way you've read a script that I haven't.
These lips are sealed.
He's playing me.
It's Friday, the 16th of February 2024. Today is the calm before the storm, because on Monday morning, 80 supporting artists will be brought in to film the bustling market sequences.
It's clever, isn't it, how they get it to look like the sun in Africa with all those lights. Because actually in there, it feels different than out here. I'd quite like to trip to Nigeria. Can't win them all.
The Who crew are adding the final touches, and director Michaela McPherson is preparing for the shoot.
So, Michaela, this is Friday, end of the week, but
Yes.
you're back here on Monday filming for the first time on this set.
Yes.
So what's your job today, then?
Basically, just to make sure, just to come and see the sets, so it's not a surprise on the day. There's nothing more beneficial than walking through the sets.
Yeah.
And being able to walk it, breathe it, see it. It really helps when you're trying to visualise your ideas.
Does something change sometimes? We're like, I thought we would do it like this, but now I've seen that lettuce there. I might want to, you know what I mean? Or I might want to get those computers or whatever.
I always say it's good to have a plan, and I'm a big planner, but ultimately you also have to be prepared for that plan to be thrown out the window. Sometimes it's nice to be organic and just see what happens on the days, and that's what's exciting about it, I think, also.
Well, good luck on Monday. It's going to be
Thank you very
fun.
much.
It's going to be hectic in here.
Yes,
it's going to be
it will
great.
Fast forward to 7 a.m. Monday morning, and the studio is already buzzing with people.
We're in Lagos, and it kind of feels like it too. I feel like I'm in a hot place, even though it's freezing in the studio. Like, I don't need my coat right now.
The Who crew have only got today to film the market scenes. Tomorrow, the whole set needs to be taken down to make way for the alleyways and barbershop exterior. So the pressure's on.
So we've got 80 essays today, which is a lot of people to get through quite a small space, but it's good because it makes it look really busy and it looks great on camera. And they're all brilliant. We've got the best set of essays that we have ever had on this show ever.
Responsible for making sure this small army of extras get through hair, makeup and costume and onto the set on time is Crowd second assistant director, Rosie Pepper.
So for our team today, majority of us started at 5:30 this morning. We have 25 makeup artists with us today. We have about 8 costume members. Come about 7:45, I'll know if we're running behind or not. But so far so good. The teams are working so hard and so well and on track to be on time.
Just to add to the market madness, Pepper is also expecting a VIP who will be making a cameo appearance in the market scenes.
On that note, has anyone had eyes on Inua, a writer? It was, I don't know whose idea it was actually, but basically Inua is actually going to be playing a starring role himself as our main trader today.
I sort of made a joke in one of the script meetings that I could play a trader I just thought it'd be funny, but they all capitalized on it, and here I am. I'm being treated as an extra, which is perfect. There's no specialist treatment or anything. I'm just bossing around, sitting down, being told, stand here, do there, go there, say this. It's nice.
With Inua and the essays all good to go, there's just enough time for some last-minute checks.
If I can count, I think this is about 60 odd. That's if I can count. But no, we are ahead of schedule, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's what I love to say as a proud second. We're ahead of schedule.
So we will be travelling you down. You head back, take your belongings, meet the team by the doors. We'll start travelling over under the brollies. Thank you very, very much. Let's do this.
Right, time to get those 80 essays wedged onto the tiny market set. Talk about sardines.
It's a lot of people in a small space, but it looks really busy. I think it looks really good. It's really fun. Lots of colour, lots of energy. Yeah, it's exciting.
With the set jam-packed and everyone ready,
Ken, have you got the time?
the clock is already ticking. Time for some action.
Stand by! Turning! So we are rolling, everybody. Enjoy, have fun.
And action!
Madam, I'm in a rush. Sorry.
Madam, you must pay for this, so.
Sorry, I have no money.
That's your problem, though. You don't go anywhere. Now, me and you today. I've never been on set before, and I've never been on a set of this size before, two things. So there are lots and lots of moving parts. But it's exciting. It's amazing.
We're back in the same position again, please. Thank you.
It's that time in the episode where I roll up my sleeves and take on some work experience. And today, I've got a particularly early start.
Now, obviously, actors are important, you know, the director's important, the camera crew is important, etc., etc. But probably the people that keep this whole show on the road are the catering staff, and that's who I'm working with this morning.
The catering team are led by Leon.
Hello.
Hello, Steffan.
Hiya, Shumai. What's the plan? What are you doing? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, Leon. What are you doing?
So we're getting ready for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then we will have 4 hours turnaround to lunch.
Yeah.
So we finish breakfast at 8. We need to be ready by 12 o'clock.
So you're already it's 5 in the morning, but you're already prepping lunch?
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got the time to. Today we've got 240. It could go up to 280. The day goes really quick.
Yeah.
So on the menu today is chicken tikka. So we've got chicken legs. You're lucky, we've done the bulk of it. So
done the hard work of you?
Yeah.
Good.
Right then, so if you chuck that in here.
Right, any particular, I mean, this is a daft question, Cleo, but I feel like this is a safe space and I'm allowed to ask stupid questions.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you very much. It doesn't matter how I shove these chickens in that sauce? No. There we are.
All you need to do is massage it.
Just gonna massage this chicken in through the incisions.
Other meat-free options are available.
How's that, Leon?
Yeah, great.
What's the best part, or the funnest part of working in catering and TV in particular?
You open the kitchen hatch and there can be a different view every day.
Yeah.
And you're in a different part of the country. You know, like we worked across Britain, really.
Have you ever had a time when just like somebody dressed up half as an alien turns up and...
Yeah, we've had a job where I opened the hatch and it was naked extras. They were having a party in a forest and nobody told me. So the hatch opens and they're like, hi. Like,
okay, good morning. Yeah.
You're doing a good job here.
Thank you very much.
Just speed up quite a lot.
And if there was like someone watching this who loves cooking, loves working in TV, is this something you'd encourage them to come and do, or do you think?
Yeah, you know, it's. I think it's good for your confidence and stuff. You're mixing with, from your builders to your sparks to actors, creative side.
Yeah.
It's a broad spectrum of different people, different backgrounds. So I think it's a great melting pot of a workspace.
Yeah.
OK, so lunch is ready to go.
Should we get on with breakfast then?
Yes.
Is that the next? Lovely. Fantastic.
It's almost 7 a.m. and I've offered to help Leon with the breakfast rush.
So here's the serving section.
You pack a lot into a tight space, don't you? Like, I mean, there's a lot of options, yeah.
Are you ready? Yes. Do you mind if this...
Oh, hello, mate. Do you mind if I serve you today? Is that all right?
It's his first time,
It's my
so...
If things go wrong, these are the pros, right? So they can tidy up after me if I cock it up, which is a distinct possibility. What would you like?
Can I have full English, please? Can I have one sausage, please?
Yes. Smoked salmon cream cheese bagel coming right up. Do you want any toppings on that? Did you want a hash brown as well? Hiya, you right?
Morning.
Morning. How can I help you? 2 brown toast. Yeah. 5 bit of scrambled egg. 2 poached eggs.
Some mushrooms, please.
Yeah. There's a flow. What I've noticed is when it's working, like one of you swaps in and out. It's like you got to feel it. You know? Happy Friday. That's okay.
Are you new?
2 sausages for Biagi.
Yeah.
If I choose incorrectly, then cut me some slack. Hey chaps, thank you very much for letting me in and getting in your way. Appreciate it. Thank you, lads. Thank you very much. Diolch i ti.
Diolch yn iawn.
Thank you. Diolch.
If you want to come back...
Oh, well, you're gonna be serving me now in a second, stop it.
For a lot of the cast, working on this episode was a bit of a reunion. Michael, who plays Obioma, and Sule, who plays Omo, both appeared on stage in Inua's play The Barbershop Chronicles. And for Sule, being in Doctor Who brings back some other memories.
It's especially special for me because this is the first time I was on here, on the show as an SA.
Yeah.
It was 20 years ago.
No way.
Like, apparently, I spoke to Russell, he's like, day 1 of filming.
Sule was there on the first day of filming when the BBC and Russell T Davies brought back Doctor Who way back in 2005. He appeared as a supporting artist in Aliens of London, confronting a space pig in a hospital.
So, like, it's come, like, full circle
Full
for me.
And believe it or not, this is Aryan, or the barber to you and me, playing Leandro the Leonian, battling Peter Capaldi's Doctor. So it seems the barbershop is the perfect location to catch up and hang out with old friends.
The 4 of you, there's a real like team spirit, real camaraderie. Because obviously you've been in there for 5 years in the show, but also working together intensely.
Yeah, I think we're quite lucky actually because some of it we knew each other before.
Yeah.
And I know Sule as well, and it's quite the acting was quite small, but that I think that really helped, and we've got quite a nice energy. As ourselves.
Yeah.
As just as friends.
Yeah, I think
so it kind of translates on the screen.
Yeah, and individually, you can tell that each of us individually is really excited to be here. And so when you bring that in, and already that energy is going to be like 95% the job is done for you.
Yeah.
It just gives it that extra edge and makes it so much easier to work.
It does. It does. Yeah, it really does.
Michael's a good friend, Spola's a good friend, be reunited with V that I worked with before. I'm meeting Jordan, who's now going to be a good friend as well.
You notice he got that in there.
Yeah, I got that in, He's the only one I've not met before. This is the thing, so,
I'm a newbie.
It's always fun. I mean, it's always a pleasure, never a chore. I mean, I've been back quite a few times for different episodes, and I mean, I love the whole franchise of Doctor Who, so...
It was a riot. I knew from that first read-through that it was going to be a very loud, very energetic episode, and indeed it was. Each actor literally just left themselves on that set each day. They gave everything they possibly could give, and that was very, very special.
The cast are just amazing. Like, we've had so many jokes. There's been so much laughter, and it's like being with my brothers. It's been great, even though they're a bit annoying.
That is a massive thank you to Paula.
It was so fun, this particular set. We all bonded loads in those 3 weeks. We enjoyed each other's company. But actually, when we finished, I felt bereft. I felt really sad. I felt like I'd lost family members. It was a very strange experience.
Lovely to chat to you. You too, thank you very much.
Really good. Nice one, guys. Thank you so much.
See you guys. Cheers.
In the next episode of Doctor Who.
I watched with my mum and dad when I was little. Best night of the year. They'd let me stay up late for voting, as long as I brushed my teeth and got into my pajamas. Look at me now.
In this episode,
Action, light, door.
the stars are out and shining bright.
Oh my god, is that actual TARDIS? I think I'm gonna collapse. I actually think I'm gonna collapse.
What do you think of this?
It says backing dance.
Is that all?
I get to direct 100 aliens on my work experience.
You can move your mouths and make as much noise as you can without actually making any noise.
We lift the lid on an absolute howler of an earworm.
I'm wiping my hands of Doctor Who. It was nothing to do with me.
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next episode of Doctor Who.
Hey, isn't this fantastic? Look at you, don't you look fantastic? Hey, and welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed, yes!
Oh, good evening, Harmony Arena!
Welcome, bienvenue, willkommen, a croeso. This is Doctor Who Unleashed, your personal portal to all things Who.
It can't be.
In this episode, we'll be defrosting
The 803rd Interstellar Song Contest!
I think it's a marvellously mad episode. The Eurovision Song Contest meets Die Hard.
And here's Bruce Willis.
You'd like to think.
This is the dream brief. I attend Eurovision regularly, so I'm a proper fan.
If you cut me through the middle, it's just Eurovision and sugar.
and try to stay calm.
Oh my God! I'm so pleased to meet you! It's Roland!
As we're gonna pop the top on this explosive episode.
Let's start the show!
One of the many iconic things about the Whoniverse are the stellar guests who pop in and deliver memorable cameo roles. But who else had a hologram of this fella?
Hello, I'm Graham Norton.
No way!
On their bingo card.
Poor old planet Earth died many years ago. It is said the planet disintegrated into rock and dust and ashes.
Graham, can I start by saying, what do you think of this? Would it fit in, well, Eurovision or also the Interstellar Song Contest? What are you thinking?
It says backing dance.
Is that all? I'll take it. That's fine.
Or backing singer.
I can live with
I
that.
don't think you're the act.
Oh, Graham.
Sad face.
How did this happen then? How did you end up here?
Listen, they asked me if I wanted to be in an episode of Doctor Who, and of course I said yes. And also it was very easy. I'm just here for like half a day, so it's easy.
Have you ever thought of yourself as a hologram before?
No, I have not, but I like the idea. I like that it seems like very easy work.
X-ray 23167.
Now, there's a bit of sort of history with you and Doctor Who, isn't there, from back in the day?
This is my first time officially being in Doctor Who. I've ruined a couple of episodes. The first one could have gone so wrong because it was my very, very first live appearance on BBC One.
Yeah.
We came off air into the first episode of the revamped Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I don't know who messed up, but we were doing a trail for the next week, and somebody brought my microphone up and broadcast it during Doctor Who. So they were going through a basement, and people thought, oh, that's clever. You know, Billy Piper is listening to Graham Norton in the basement. And then they realised it was just me wanging on. I could have so easily sworn, said something terrible. You know, yeah, we got away with it.
But it's a full circle moment. Here you are.
It is. I'm meant to be here, everyone. I'm meant to be here.
The star power in this episode was doubled up by cryogenic co-host Rylan.
I've been here now for a couple of days, and I'm just still pinching myself every time I walk into these studios.
Yeah.
I got to go into the TARDIS yesterday.
Oh my God, is that actual TARDIS? I think I'm going to collapse. I actually think I'm going to collapse.
So are you much of a Doctor Who fan before this?
Massive Doctor Who fan.
is
I've been a massive Doctor Who fan my entire life.
Oh my God, I keep walking off the TARDIS. You can't press any buttons. I won't press any buttons. I don't want to end up in the future.
Oh, so who was your first Doctor?
My first Doctor that I really got into was
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah.
So when it came back, the revival, that's when I really got into it. And I just remember being obsessed with that series so much, like the Game Station and Satellite 5 and all of that.
Yeah.
And that, because obviously I loved Big Brother as well at the same time, so when like Game Station came in,
Yeah.
and it was like a crossover of all the shows, I was like, oh my God, this is the best episode I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Right, so for every Whovian out there, I swear to you, it is everything you want it to be and more. It is so gorgeous.
Your Venn diagram, this is bang.
This episode has been written for Ireland, and I will own that. I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much for letting me do this. Can I just, like, live here?
Is this slightly different, obviously, to maybe the stuff you've done before? Because it's obviously more acting rather than presenting.
I was a little bit nervous, to be fair. I've done some acting in the past, but, like, nothing like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm playing Ryland, but I'm not playing real Ryland.
Yeah.
So, like, there's things in the script where it's like I don't know what I'm doing, like, as in, like, oh, something's going wrong in my ear.
Yeah,
Whereas in real life, I'll just carry on, ignore it, and
He's a pro.
He's a pro.
Come on.
So yeah, it's just getting it all right. But, like, you know, it's just been so lovely. Like, everyone's amazing. The crew are fantastic because you never get to really see all what goes on behind the scenes, apart from when you watch this.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ryan. Well done.
Obviously, which I am a fan of. The team know.
I didn't pay him to say that.
Yeah, it's just so lovely. It just feels like real, like, family vibes.
Yeah.
And everyone's just here because they want to make it a great show. And this ep especially is very glossy. It's very glitzy. It's very glam, and I love it.
Of course, the Interstellar Song Contest is a supersized Eurovision, which means the episode needed some Eurovision-style songs. Songs with that certain je ne sais quoi that land you...
12 points, Doctor.
I wanted to kind of capture how mad some Eurovision Song Contest songs are without taking the mickey out of it. But sometimes songs are just odd. The past few days, I just keep singing My Big Feet, which is a mad, mad lyric.
Brusson enlisted Who composer Murray Gold and scriptwriter Juno Dawson to help out on the Euro songs.
I left the gaps in the script, and then Russell was like, no, we need to do some lyrics. So Russell wrote some lyrics, I wrote some lyrics. It went to Murray, and it came back as songs.
Songs like Liz Lizardine's I Love You, But My Heart Says No. And Cora's Aria.
Were you relieved when you got sent the song? I'm assuming that you liked it. Because you could have been sent one and you thought, oh, you know what, it doesn't vibe with me, you know? Because not every song does vibe with you or speak to you, isn't it?
True. No, yeah, I loved it. I heard it and I was like, wow, I can see this filling the auditorium.
I love that it's a different language because I've often listened to songs in a different language and I feel it. I go on that journey and I don't know what they're saying, but I feel what they're saying. So they always say that music is a universal language. So I really think that's really powerful in this episode to show that.
And like any Eurovision worth its salt, there was one song in particular that split opinions.
So this is Dagadu. He's going to go on stage in a minute. And he's got an amazing song, which I think is going to be Christmas #1.
And action!
Worthy of the dreaded nil point? Let's see what Ncuti and Varada make of Dagadu.
Oh, wow.
There is Duggadoo. I'm wiping my hands of Duggadoo. It has nothing to do with me.
Duggadoo is entirely of Murray Gold's creation. There was no point in the script where I said, a funny little alien sings a song called Duggadoo. It just landed in the inbox.
Oh my God.
Mercifully, in the edit, you don't hear it much. Actually, you don't see much of the Duggadoo song. If you isolate that, it'll drive you mad. It'll drive you absolutely mad. I think Unleashed is the place to actually show properly Duggadoo.
I thought that was not the reaction I was expecting.
Nah, I think that's a #1 hit.
You were vibing with that?
Right there. I was vibing with that. I think that's...
the beautiful Murray Gold with some fantastic work there.
That's not Murray, is
that's
it?
Murray Gold. Oh my God! From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Oh, wow,
what
Murray.
Can't that man do?
That is the gem of your career, Murray. Wow.
Now, I could say this every time I'm on set on Doctor Who, but today it really is a special day because if you follow me this way, last time this happened, it was a gloriously sunny day. We were outside and we got to see a bi-generation. Well, we are now seeing another one. Only the second time it's happened, and it's happening right there.
Today, the Who crew are filming the huge plot twist at the end of the episode that reveals not only is the mysterious Mrs. Flood the Rani, but that she also bigenerates.
It feels totally different to when David and Ncuti split, because it was outside and sunny, and here we're inside in a very green screen sort of area. And there's a lot of very technical, because they've got to move at the same time and end up in the same place. And look, they've got a little green, if you come this way, look, if you have a little look over there, there's a little green cross that they've got to look at for eye line so that the bigeneration thing works. It's all very busy, all very technical, and all very important.
When I read that there was a bigeneration in my script, the first thing I did was watch Doctor Who Unleashed because it's the best document to show how to do it. And so we, as the program makers, watched the behind the scenes from the old special to learn how to do it.
You want to get this right, don't you? Because this is like a big moment, not just for your episode, but also in the sort of the Doctor Who pantheon of stories, if you will.
Yeah, it's not lost on us how significant a moment this is. What we have had to be really careful about is shoulder pads. She's got some amazing shoulder pads in this episode. When someone bigenerates, the clothes that they're wearing get shared between the two resulting people.
I hadn't even thought about that.
So in the original bigeneration, Ncuti took some of David's costume.
Yeah.
In this case, Anita is giving some of her costume to Archie. If we're doing like that and my shoulder goes in front of you, then it's game over.
Yeah.
Shoulder pads aligned and Unleashed study notes memorised. It's time for Ben and the team to get this bigeneration done.
Let battle begin.
Oh, must we? How inelegant. Oh, I'm ever so sorry, ma'am.
And while we're here, finally, Russell.
Finally, we found out who Mrs. Flood is. I think ever since Mrs. Flood appeared, people have been saying she's the Rani. And sometimes you just want to deliver what people expect. I mean, yes, she's a time lady. Yes, she is the Rani. And yes, she's bigenerated. And now she's Mrs. Flood and Archie Punjabi as the Rani, which is so exciting. It was kind of the plan always from the beginning. I always thought she was the Rani, which actually is a very old Doctor Who villain who's never been brought back since the show came back in 2005. She's kind of been waiting in the wings, and the time has come, really.
The Rani is a renegade Time Lord and nemesis of the Doctor who hasn't appeared on screen since the early 1990s. We'll have more of a deep dive on the Rani in the next episode of Unleashed. Meanwhile, I've been trying to get to the bottom of Mrs. Flood's mystery since she first turned up in 2023. Despite numerous appearances, Anita's resolutely refused to give me a scoop.
Anything you can share with us about what's going on?
No.
Surely by now there must be something.
Yeah, you're trying it on again, you see. This is why I love you, though. You never give up.
But now...
Finally, Anita, some answers. After all this time dodging my questions, ducking and diving, here we are. You
did well, though,
you
didn't
did
you?
really well. You did so well. Often I would go home and I'd curse Anita Dobson's name because he wouldn't tell me anything.
My heart's broken.
So you're holding, inside Mrs. Flood all this time, one of the most famous, iconic Doctor Who villains of all time.
We think, I don't know how long she's been in there, but she's certainly out and running now, yeah.
Are you happy with what Mrs. Flood has ended up becoming?
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many people get the chance to split in half and give birth to the Rani? I mean, yeah, I'm made up about the whole thing.
Yeah.
My whole journey's been unusual and really exciting.
Well, congratulations on one becoming two.
Mm.
And for being very good with secrets. So if you need any secrets kept at home, Anita Dobson is your woman.
But don't tell him.
Don't tell me you're part of it.
Hi. Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed.
Hello, Doctor Who Unleashed.
We go behind the screens, behind the scenes.
There's so many, look at all the screens.
We find out what drove the return of a Who legend.
I think it was fan power. I think fans have been saying, where is she? What's happening to her? Are we going to see her again?
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the next Doctor Who episode. But first... In the script for the Interstellar Song Contest, the Harmony Arena is packed with 100,000 spectators from all across the Whoniverse. But in reality, it would be impossible to fill the studio with 100,000 people. Instead, around 100 supporting artists filled all the roles. So how would you turn 100 into 100,000?
Well, there's lots of different ways you can do it.
Yeah.
The way that we're picking is that we're starting with a number of SAs who are going to be real life people in the frame.
Yeah.
And they provide the sort of front layer that you'll see. And then we're going to use
Yeah.
things called digi-doubles, which is digital mannequins of people that you program in movement, and then you just times them, in our case, by 100,000 and
Yeah.
fill your digital set.
Right.
And we do that by scanning the extras that we've got here today, but also just designing them on a computer and
Yeah.
giving them movements and then letting them, in our case, have a big party in the background of our shot.
Let's roll, please. If you think of the Eurovision Song Contest, you've got Hungary and you've got Sweden. Well, we've got Planet Zorg and Planet what, you know. So we've got bulbous headmen, we've got vultures, we've got wrinkly, scaly faces, we've got pigs. And yes, they've been dancing around a lot for the last 4 days, sweating, and but having lots of fun. Jen Day, my third day up on stage, she's been bossing them around for the last couple of days. So hopefully they've enjoyed it. But they look great.
Unlucky for Jen, though, those 100 people she has to look after today has turned into 101. As I'm going to be joining her for some work experience. So Jen, you have drawn the short straw today.
Haven't I?
So what are you up to today and how can I help you?
So the crowd third is sort of in charge of placing the background,
Yeah.
dressing them to shots, not with their clothes, but
Yeah.
into the frame.
Yeah.
Sort of giving them directions. But yeah, make sure they look good on screen.
Okay, right, let's go and do that then.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch a take.
First task, we need to closely watch a take of the scene being filmed.
Turning!
As third ADs, we specifically need to keep our eyes on the SAs in the background, taking note of their performances. The scene being shot is Cora's emotional big finale towards the end of the episode. On both sides.
Cut! Lovely blurs in the background.
Good
Do you
blurs.
have any notes?
Not really. I reckon the lights could get up earlier.
Yeah?
Maybe, but...
Get them up earlier, get them waving in the air a bit more.
Yeah. Because they're pretty, in there.
Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just so I know they-
As we're now between takes, we can pass on directions to the SAs. In this case, I've got a note about the LED wristbands some of them are wearing.
Passing notes. This is Steffan.
So, hi, I'm helping today. If you've got a bracelet on, can we get those slightly up earlier, right? Just like 30 seconds or so earlier towards the end of the song, because they look lovely in the background, all twinkly.
Yeah, that's when get the bracelets in the air.
Lovely.
Wave them around a bit. Yeah, thank you. Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gang. Cheers. Is this always what you wanted to do? Did you fall into it? Or how did you end up here doing this?
I was always interested in
Yeah.
making films, but my sister did costume, so she got me on set as an extra one day on Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is awesome, it's so
Yeah.
much fun. So then I did some extra work, some essay work, and
Oh, so that's why you're good with the essays, because
Maybe, I
that
used
was
to be
you.
one.
You are what?
Yeah.
They're your people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, basically. And I just thought like, oh, that'd be amazing to like be able to direct the
Yeah.
essays. So I was like, yeah, I want a third. And now it's like, yeah, I want to direct. So yeah.
So that's what you said. And then how easy was it to get your first job? Did you start as a runner?
I did, yeah. So I did, I became a regular extra and then got to know the second AD and I was like, please can I have some work experience? And then got a runner job from then on and then went my way up.
So basically, once you get your foot in the door, then work hard from there.
Exactly.
And here you are in charge of 100 aliens.
Here we are. Pretty surreal.
Yeah.
Next task is a bit of a challenge, picking up on a scene that is already half shot.
We did this yesterday, so we have to match. So the same people have the same props, they're stood in the same place. But now we're moving on to the later scene where they start dancing to the song.
Right.
Yeah.
Continuity nightmare.
Absolutely. So I've got photos of where everyone was stood.
Yeah.
The props team are giving out the same props to the same people
Yeah.
yesterday, so they
So if you had a fluorescent popcorn cup yesterday, you've got one back again today.
Yeah.
And a flag.
And a flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I direct the essays into the right place with the right props,
Oh, perfection. And take a half a step to your right.
Jen gets some notes from director Ben to pass on to the crowd.
Mute.
So what was Ben telling you then? Mute, so no noise?
So no noise, so we can record the dialogue for the actors.
So they got to wave but not make any sound?
Yeah, but they can still move their mouths.
Love that.
Like that.
Okay, and from the beginning?
From the beginning, yeah. Should we go up on the stage and tell them?
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm Steffan. Just going to let you know some notes for this take, if that's okay. Do you mind, as soon as you say action, we need to be excited from the get-go. So get those flags up waving, really excited. You can move your mouths and make as much noise as you can without actually making any noise. I'm quite enjoying this one because, in a strange way, when you're talking to lots of people, it's easier than talking to one person, if you know what I mean. I know that sounds a bit odd, but it is. So we need it mute and excited right from the kickoff. Is that okay? Perfect, look at that. Love that. More of that energy, please. Fantastic. And it's fun because, like, you're looking out for little details in the background, and it's tough because your eye always gets drawn to the main performers, but actually you've got to see past them. They're not important. Looking at the other people. So no, it's good. It's good. A lot to take in, mind. There's a lot going on. I don't want to, like, get in a position whereby on the day when this is on the telly, I think, oh, that background performer's gone a bit early on that flag waving, you know? It's a lot of pressure. All right, where's Jen gone?
Now we've had the Rani, we've had Rylan and Graham Norton. Surely there's no space for any more legends in this episode. Well, this being Doctor Who, there's always time and space for one more. This particular legend had the TARDIS buzzing with excitement.
I can't believe it.
She first appeared in Doctor Who 62 years ago. She hasn't been on the screen in over 30 years. But here she is, the Doctor's granddaughter, his very first companion, Susan Foreman, played by Carol Ann Ford.
At that extreme moment in the Doctor's life where he's frozen in space and could be dying, I wanted something extraordinary to bring him back. It was a great moment sitting with Juno, who wrote that script, to say, please, can you put in Susan? Please, can Susan appear to him and pull him out of his deep freeze?
Go back, grandfather. Go back.
She was like, wow, will I do that or what? And then along she came. Carol Ann Ford came to studio. Top secrecy. Everything closed down. Everyone signing NDAs. Brought in onto the TARDIS. And I think Ben directed that beautifully as well.
When you're working with someone who's as experienced as that, the temptation is to just let them do their thing. But I learned very quickly with Carol Ann Ford that she is a sharp and thriving actor who really relished direction. And even though she might be in her 80s, she was as present and as energetic as an actor who's just starting out.
Last seen in 1993 in Dimensions in Time, a Children in Need special, Susan's name has popped up in a number of episodes since, and she's featured in books and audio dramas. But this is her first on-screen appearance in 32 years.
Grandfather, go back.
So why is Susan back now?
Well, I think it was fan power. I think fans have been saying, where is she? What's happening to her? Are we going to see her again? And Russell and I hadn't met, and we had both been hoping to meet, and we went to a party. Oh, it was the screening of Star Beast. And so we met there, and it was big screams and hugs and, you know, at last we meet sort of thing. And while we were hugging, Russell said to me, would you like to come back? And I said, yes, of course I'd like to come back. And he said, oh, that's good, because you're coming back.
And now that Carol Ann is back, how does today's TARDIS compare with her own?
Is no comparison. I could almost put my arms around the console of the TARDIS that we were in. I certainly can't do that with the one we've got here. Ours was maybe 10 steps across. You'd have to take about 1,000 steps, I think, to go up and around to get across to the other side of this. I mean, this is like Whoniverse all of its own. It's stunning. It's amazing. And I feel very honoured to be here. It's extraordinary.
Right, everyone, here we go. Bit of focus, please. Tighter on Rylan. Music fade out. Steady on 26.
Every multi-camera event, be it Eurovision, a Premier League match or the news, has a broadcast gallery with multiple screens.
And cue confetti cannon.
This broadcast gallery is the control room for every image,
beamed to the 3 trillion viewers tuning in to the Interstellar Song Contest. But this is no ordinary setup, and these are no ordinary camera feeds. Time to go behind the screens, behind the scenes.
I mean, this is a TV gallery set, and there are close to 16 screens, all of which we've had to make content for to make it look like a real-life gallery. So, yeah, that's what's been really unusual about this episode, that we've had to move heaven and earth to get everything ready to go on these screens. Because it's not just we need one video, we need upwards of 20 videos ready, all playing at once, on screen, in the background.
The majority of the footage on the screens, including the shots of Rylan and Sabine, aren't live. They were shot 10 days previously with a full cast and crew.
So in some cases we need 12 angles of scenes that we shot with Rylan and Sabine. And it's just meant we've had to be really on top of getting the coverage we need and then handing it over to our amazing colleagues at Paint and Practice, led by Erica McEwen, who's just done all of this and turned it into a realistic, futuristic TV gallery. It's crazy.
So often you have a lot of graphics in camera, it's quite a normal thing, but to be able to get footage that we've shot within the same shooting block into camera is really unusual, and it takes a huge amount of military precision coordination, and it's been really hard, but to have this many pieces and a multi-camera as well, it's quite a miracle that we actually got it all.
It's mad, yeah, like we're looking at stuff here that we shot less than a week ago in some cases, and it's here in multi-camera form, and it's just so convincing. And it's just those extra lengths that you can go to make the set feel real, to make the actors feel more immersed, and crucially it means that we're not having to replace screens in the background, which I think always looks a little bit fake.
Not only move, this gallery is mine.
To be on set and it actually physically be there, so much easier than having it all in your head all at once. So that's been an absolute delight.
On top of the footage, Erica had to also create bespoke graphics, music videos, and even Hellion language feeds. Then there was the small matter of making sure the right image was on the right screen at the right time.
These scenes in the gallery are being intercut with shots of Rylan and Sabine on stage doing their thing. So we need to make sure that whatever's going on behind them on the screens, which we've already shot, matches what we're going to be intercutting with. If we're cutting into a scene where Rylan and Sabine are already talking to the audience, we can't be showing a clip of Rylan walking up on stage because that's already happened and the audience have already seen it. And the same for the auto cue. The words have to be matching what they're doing and what we're seeing Rylan and Sabine saying when we're cutting in between, if that makes sense. We're working with Ben, the director, who obviously is all over what is happening in the episode and the performances and what we're going to be seeing at any one time. I'm working with Brad.
There's so many, look at all the screens.
Our wonderful art director who is all over the visuals and the set and props on what we can see and not see at any given time. Working with Erica from the visual effects team, who's making sure that the screens are all in order. There are so many marvellous people doing a marvellous job to keep things running. It's not all just the continuity, it's a group effort.
On the next episode of Doctor Who.
Many years ago, when Gallifrey was young, the Doctor and the Time Lady had been terrible enemies. They had fought over all sorts of irrelevant things, but the Time Lady knew they could be great friends.
In this episode, we've got a doctor who thinks he's a Smith.
He just wants to work at the Unified National Insurance team.
Oh, look at that. He's remembered it.
You
Nice
know.
one. Come on.
I don't know if
Spot
I
the
have.
professional.
I don't know if I have.
We've got not one, but two Ranis.
I just thought it's Doctor Who, it's the Rani, it's Anita Dobson. I had 3 words in my head. Yes, yes, yes.
We've got ducks, an owl, and a horse with a weak bladder. And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the series finale.
Welcome to John Smith Unleashed.
This is it then, the beginning of the end of season 2 of Doctor Who.
No. What are you even talking about?
And we're here to lift the lid on episode 7, Wish World. The first of a 2-part finale brimming with elaborate sets, multiple locations, an ensemble cast, and mind-bending VFX. Are you ready to take the plunge? Welcome to Wish World, a parallel universe conjured by the imagination of conspiracy theorist Conrad Clark. Last seen being sprung from jail by Mrs. Flood at the end of the episode Lucky Day.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm the governor. And it's your lucky day.
But what exactly is this dystopian alternate reality?
It's a partly remembered and a partly invented world. It's all from Conrad's mind.
Happy morning, everyone.
He's desperately inventing a whole world. So he's imagined very simple templates. It's just if he's put everyone into couples.
And you're John Smith's wife. I certainly am.
And women who don't quite fit into those couples don't quite fit into the world. They have no role. They're alone. They're considered to be a bit strange. But he thinks it's natural. He thinks it's normal. He's not from that good a home himself. So he's trying to imagine a better home.
Morning, darling.
Morning, sweetheart. John Smith and Belinda, they're married and they have a child together. I haven't been busy mates with Belinda for the past 6 episodes. It was a weird transition, but fun. Me and V thought it was very funny. We were waking up in bed beside each other.
Did you see a cat?
Meow. Is that you wanting a cat?
Yeah.
It's like playing house with your best friend. Seeing Ncuti be like a dad figure was very different to how I know Ncuti to be in real life. Like, neither of us are grown up in any way in real life. We're like kids. So it's just very funny to see us both kind of switch into like parent mode.
Is it okay out there? Is it working?
It's all hanging on by a thread. It's not real, and it's desperately rattling at the edges. And that is the point, as you discover at the end of the episode. That's actually the Rani wanting to create a reality that wears thin, that starts to fall apart, that's her plan to break the world apart and to reach the world underneath.
So let's take you even further behind the scenes of Wish World, a world in which the Doctor is now plain old John Smith.
Today is the 11th of April 2024, and what's being filmed just behind me is the scene where John Smith walks in to work.
Cutting it fine. Another 2 minutes and you'd have been late.
I did work late last night.
Time carries no favours.
I enjoyed watching you being John Smith.
Dear John, dear John.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching you strolling into that room in your very sharp suit and encompassing a different part of the character. I thought it was really fun. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I did, because it was just so different. And he's just so normal and so human and has got no intention of saving the universe. He just wants to work at the Unified National Insurance team.
Oh, look at that. He's remembered it.
You
Nice
know?
one. Come on.
I don't know if I
Spot
have.
the professional.
I don't know if I have.
Happy morning, Unified National Insurance Team. How can I help?
It was a lot to get my head around, because you get so used to the character of the Doctor. He just walks into rooms and decides to take charge.
Yeah.
And John is so the antithesis of that it was a nice challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you be good 9 to 5?
No.
In an office?
No, I wouldn't be good, but I do enjoy it, though. When I loved when I was temping.
Yeah.
I found having an Excel spreadsheet in front of me the most exciting thing.
You an Excel guy? You
Yeah.
spreadsheets man, Ncuti.
I worked in many a receptionist office, and yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun. Nothing ever got entered into it.
No. Productivity was low, but...
Productivity was very low.
You were having a great time.
But I was happy to be there.
Yeah. You could see that channeled in your John Smith.
The old cliche says never work with children or animals. So what did Russell write into the opening scene of this episode? A baby and...
Animals. Lots of animals. We had a day with ducks. And we had an owl.
Oh, we're about to have a right hoot on set.
And we had a horse.
Well, apart from the horse micturating in the middle of the take, it was fantastic.
I happily write 6 ducks knowing I won't be there on that day. Knowing it's going to be chaos and a nightmare. There was probably a duck wrangler. Was there a duck wrangler? There was a duck wrangler. I knew it.
1, 2, 3. I wonder if is there any way to spread them out? I'll try. Give me a minute.
It all went fine. It went absolutely fine. Never want to film with ducks again.
Okay, we'll cut. Thank you.
And if you thought that was quackers,
Hello, boys.
added to the mix were 6 young children, the aforementioned baby, and its stunt double.
Come on in, back to your Winnebago.
But what nobody ever tells you is there are worse things to work with than animals and children.
There are about 500 million midges. All the midges in Wales have come here, and they're around my head. And it's really, really annoying.
Bugs are eating us alive. Yeah. Showing the dark. I'm just itching, basically.
They love our curls.
They love our curls,
unfortunately.
yeah. Bearing
so
inside.
yeah, they're sticking to us.
Yeah. Shake around a
Pretty
bit, you see
itchy.
loads come off.
Yeah.
I'm in disguise hiding from the midges.
You should see Ralph actually, because he's got bites all over his face.
Oh my god, you've got so many bites on your face.
Brilliant.
Oh my goodness, have I?
Don't think so. I think I've got one crawling on my nose now.
Not quite entertaining as I thought it'd be. This isn't what I signed up for.
These little flies are from the pits of hell.
Let battle begin.
Right then, in the last episode of Unleashed, we promised there'd be more on the bombshell reveal that Mrs. Flood was one half of a bi-generated foe not seen on our screens in decades.
Our name is the Rani, although she's become a Rani, while I'm the Rani.
This is the arrival of Archie Panjabi as the Rani. The Rani in the old days was played by a fantastic actor called Kate Tamara.
Seal it and label it.
Really phenomenal actors. This is dedicated to her in a way, because she was wonderful and created a villain all those years ago that has lasted in Doctor Who legacy ever since. You know, she's a great part of the show. It's amazing that the Rani hasn't been on screen for a million years.
Well, well, well. The Rani.
You were expecting to see the Master?
First appearing in The Mark of the Rani back in 1985 opposite Colin Baker's 6th Doctor.
I think I've got it. You're extracting a chemical from the brain.
The renegade Time Lady returned in 1987's The Time and the Rani in 7th Doctor Sylvester McCoy's debut episode.
The Rani! Stay back!
Since then, the character has appeared in audio dramas, novels and comics, but aside from a brief appearance in 1993, not on TV. So why now?
That was a villain that I really wanted to face, and I'd asked Russell.
Oh, had you? You'd asked him?
Yes. She's so, fabulous.
Yeah.
I want to face off with her. Time Lord v Time Lord. Like, how cool.
Oh, yes, Doctor.
I've always liked the Rani, and I've always thought I'd bring her back somehow, but that was like a request. When your lead actor requests something, I'm here to obey.
Stepping into the iconic red suit and black boots this time around is Emmy award-winning actor and star of The Good Wife, Shetland and Bend It Like Beckham, Archie Panjabi.
So how did it happen then, Archie? How are you sat here as a very famous Doctor Who character back reincarnated as the Rani?
I was just sitting at my desk one day, and then I got a message saying, would you like to be in Doctor Who? And I thought, ooh, that could be interesting, but what's the character?
Yeah.
And they said, the Rani, and I thought, wow, oh, wow. And the Rani obviously means queen. And all I could think about, honestly, the first reaction was my entire Indian community would be so over the moon because the Rani is queen and I'm married to Raj,
yeah,
the king. So I thought that would be lovely. And I just thought, it's Doctor Who, it's the Rani, it's Anita Dobson. I had 3 words in my head. Yes, yes, yes!
And what's it been? Has it sort of lived up to that, your expectations then?
Superseded it.
Has it?
I mean, look at this. This is my palace, our palace.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Archie Punjabi is amazing. I mean, the charisma and the presence that she holds in the room, and she's so lovely. She's so cool.
Nice of you to join us, Doctor.
Like, when I was younger, there weren't a lot of South Asian actors on screen, and she was one of them, and I always looked up to her. I thought she was stunning and sassy and smart. The Rani's relationship with Mrs. Flood is quite funny because they're both the Rani, and she considers herself a lot more superior to Mrs. Flood and treats her very badly. It's not very nice.
Sandwich, obviously.
But it does also make you laugh.
Oh, right.
Because they're both so funny when they're together.
Do you go everywhere together now? Is this a new thing?
Yeah.
It's sort of happening, isn't it?
We feel like
slowly?
we've known each other for...
Ever.
It's very strange.
Yeah. So, because this afternoon you're filming the bit where
We
you...
moved the same, did you see that?
Yeah, we even say things at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
Finish
very
each other's
odd.
sentences.
Yeah,
Yes, we do,
nearly.
don't we?
Yeah. I was so excited I couldn't wait to meet her, and then I suddenly panicked and thought, what if we don't click? What if there's no magic? And then she walked onto the set and it was like, there it was.
Yeah.
It could be said that you sprang from my loins.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Every Doctor Who set has its challenges, be it a retro unit set, a peasant cabin in the Bavarian woods, or a palace made of bones. Although none of those were the most challenging in this episode, that accolade goes to this set.
We are in central Cardiff, and we have created the Camp of the Dispossessed, which is an area where everyone with a disability he kind of has sort of forgotten about, and they get sort of placed in this place. So obviously, because of the storyline, all our sporting artists, they're all people with visible and non-visible disabilities. So another reason why we selected this location is obviously because it's fully accessible and workable for people with all their different specific needs and requirements. So it's been a really interesting challenge, but trying to make a location that's that's not just serviceable for a standard film crew, but also for people who've got slightly more specific needs and requirements.
Morning, Winnie love. Another day in paradise.
So I am what they call an access coordinator. So it's my responsibility to work with the production as a whole to make sure any cast or crew or production team member who's deaf, disabled or neurodivergent, work with them and put any access requirements in place. And that could be anything from a ramp to the front door to a quiet room in the production office. It's all about making the entire process accessible to people who are disabled.
I am crowd ADing and also essaying because I'm a crew member with disability. So they asked me to help out with all the essays, as well as acting as well. They clearly heard the words camp and disabled and thought, let's call Ben.
You know, having an access coordinator on set makes everything so much easier. All of those little things that other people might not notice, the people who it's meant for will, and I think that's really special.
So it was about, okay, let's have different coloured tents, because if you were visually impaired or you were blind or nearly blind, but you could see a bit of colour, if you had all the tents in one colour, and as a blind person or visually impaired person, you'd knock into things. So you'll see there's different tents in different colours, and then there's ribbons round about. We looked at the access, how to get into the tent, how to get out, because tents, I don't know if you noticed, but they have a lip at the bottom. So if you were in a wheelchair, you couldn't get into it. So it's all about making the whole thing accessible.
You know what? It looks really beautiful. I thought I could spend a weekend here. Oh, nice. Everyone just having a nice little jolly. It feels really colourful and vibrant, and to see so many disabled people just living like that, thinking, oh, actually that could be real. It's quite moving in a way, how happy everybody is as well. Yeah, what a great place to film.
Just tell me what the hell is going on.
When you're disabled, you know that with just a few access requirements put in place, it makes such a big difference. It means you can turn up and you can be creatively brilliant. So when we make our film and TV industry accessible, we open ourselves up to lots of very talented people.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. We go dancing with the stars.
What's with you and dancing now, shoot? You come here, you're gonna be...
Telling you, they'll have me on Strictly next.
Production designer Phil Sims reveals the inspiration behind the awesome Bone Palace.
There's a lot of bird references in it, a lot of avian references.
OK, that's interesting. Why did you go bird?
We just thought they looked cool. We just thought that...
And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive clip from the season finale. But first... So every week on Doctor Who Unleashed, I do some work experience with a different department that make Doctor Who happen. And this week, I'm with the script team. I'm with Molly on the script team, and I think their job is actually one of the more stressful on set. Why? Let's go find out.
Hey, Martha.
Action! OK, Molly, let's start right at the basics.
Hello.
What? Hello? Yes, that is the
That's a
basics.
good basic
Yeah, it's a good
to start,
basic.
yeah.
Hello. Yeah, my manners. Yes, thank you very much. Tell me about the script team. What do they do? What do you do? What's your job title?
My job title is a little bit of a mouthful.
OK, that's a good start.
Yes, I am the trainee assistant script supervisor.
Trainee assistant script supervisor.
I am indeed, yeah.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
It is
isn't
a little bit, yeah.
What do they do?
They assist the script supervisors.
Molly assists script supervisor Richard Pask. Between them, they have some serious responsibilities. It's their job to keep detailed notes of dialogue, action, continuity, and all the slate and scene numbers. On top of all that, during filming, they have to closely monitor what's happening to check no dialogue is missed, and that the movements and the eye lines of all the actors match take after take after take. And what's with the stopwatch?
We help out production with timings of the day, when we start, when we finish, when we call for lunch, how much of the episodes that we've shot already, like 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, whether we're overrunning. So before we start shooting, we have to time the script.
Right.
We come up with a guesstimate of how long the episode is going to take, and then we try and match that as much as possible.
Occasionally, Molly has to deliver some bad news.
Now, I've seen some of your colleagues go in with scripts in hand, asking for scenes to be redone so that the scripts match the writing. That's a big part of the job as well?
A big part of the job is learning when to go in and when not to. So it's a lot of talking with the director, like, oh, the line maybe changed a little bit here, or should I go in and change it? Should we remind the actors what the line is, that kind of thing. And sometimes it's a yes, and sometimes it's a, oh, it doesn't matter.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So were you always interested in drama growing up, or was it sci-fi that you liked, or what was it?
Whilst there, it was actually a behind-the-scenes episode of Doctor Who that I watched when I was a kid. And
Was it?
That's what I want to do.
And here you are on
And
behind the
here I
scenes
am.
of Doctor Who.
I know,
It's like a real full circle moment.
Exactly. I bought some books, I read them, and when I was doing lots of running jobs on short films, and I just said, hey, can I either shadow, or sometimes when they don't have a script supervisor, like, can I give it a go?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that's a real self-starter then, Molly. You like, that's the thing I want to go and do. Did all your own research, and here you are.
And here I am, on Doctor Who, behind
That's
the
so
scenes.
brilliant, isn't it just?
Right, time for me to step in as the assistant to the assistant script supervisor. As night falls and rehearsals begin, Richard and Molly are on hand to liaise with the director and help the actors double-check their lines.
So if they're getting the lines right, you want to make sure they're getting the lines right here as well as later.
Yeah.
We don't want panic.
We don't want panic.
Nobody wants panic.
No.
Let's turn over A and B.
With the cameras about to roll, Molly and I will be monitoring the action from a small tent side of set.
In between takes, I listen to what the director's saying, so that I can put down on my notes if there's anything that he liked or didn't like.
So you're eavesdropping?
Yes, all the time.
Eavesdropping. Yeah.
Everything you hear, the more information you can put down, the better.
Set. And action.
You recognised your husband's doubt because you've been expressing doubt yourself. That's what it does, Mrs. Smith. It contaminates, it breeds, it festers, and it's my job to cut it out.
Ah! Don't talk about me! Don't make her ashamed of me! Tell her I love her!
Take her away.
Look after her. She missed that line. You want to come? Let's see if we have time.
Yes, go.
Oh no.
Come on.
Time to deliver some bad news.
Back to once, we go again straight away. Thank you,
I'm just passing on notes, obviously I'm just learning. So in your line, can you please remember to also say, look after her? So don't forget that line, please. Thank you very much. A beautiful performance, though, really moving. I was moved.
Thank you. That's not your job.
I was just giving you a bit of...
That's actually not our job.
Oh, we're not allowed to do that?
Probably shouldn't.
Am I not?
Should we go back to the tent?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just look after her, is that line?
Okay, take two.
Anna! Don't tell Bobby I had doubt! Don't make her ashamed of me! Look after her! Tell her I love her!
She nailed it words-wise there, though. Every single word, as written. Well done, V.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much, everybody. Very good work, Anita V.
Bringing to life the wish world of Conrad's imagination allowed the production design team to go to town on the sets. It also got me all excited when I first saw them.
Right, OK, now this is a space that I know of and you know of as the unit headquarters. It's the ultra-modern, full of jazzy tech place where Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, Gemma Redgrave, sort of runs the show, but it's been transformed. Oh, wow. Look how different it looks. Firstly, you can't see this, but this feels different because it's a springy. This is a carpet. And before it was all like super slick. But look at those. This is what people used to type on. They don't anymore. So obviously it's been transformed to like mid-20th century vibes. Gemma, for you, who spends a lot of the time in this room, it must be an odd sensation being here and seeing it look like this.
I think it looks magnificent.
It doesn't look great.
Doesn't it look like an episode of Mad Men?
It does.
Slightly.
Yeah.
With a sort of unit twist.
Absolutely.
I want to know if Joan has seen these, because if I was him, I'd be thrilled and a bit freaked out at the same time.
It's odd seeing you in a suit, though, not in your big body armour.
I know. I mean, it looks fresh.
It does look fresh.
It's the first day, actually, in this.
What did you feel like when you walked in here? Because this is your home, when you're on set filming, this is where you spend most of your time. And it looks totally different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
We walked in this morning, we just did like a triple take, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
While the retro unit set evokes 1950s nostalgia, the Bourne Palace is a brilliant sci-fi meets gothic horror mashup.
I love this. This is the one set that we've done where it's been entirely sculpted. So we've had a brilliant team of sculptors.
It's so clever,
transforming
their work, isn't it?
into a bony
Yeah.
palace. There's a lot of bird references in it, a lot of avian references.
OK, that's interesting. Why did you go bird?
We just thought they looked cool. We just thought they looked great. There's lots of sort of beaks and bird skulls, and actually, you know, we looked at ostrich bones, ostrich feet.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where these feet came from, at the base of the pillars in the Bone Palace.
That's very clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get rid of the wife.
I mean, it was epic. You know, the attention to detail to the different bones that they used to create the structure was just beautiful. It was beautiful, but also very, very creepy. It feels like you're in a dead animal. But then there's this massive disco ball that was also there.
Wait, did someone say disco ball?
Would I like some magic?
Oh, yeah.
Watch this.
Do some magic.
Alan, can you turn on the disco ball, please?
Oh. Oh, my... You have the power in your hands.
On my hands. Doesn't it look good?
That is
Very
cool, is it?
exciting.
Is that the coolest thing we've done in Unleashed in
Maybe.
nearly 2 series worth?
Definitely during my interviews.
Saturday Night Fever, anyone?
Music.
Towards the end of the episode, John Smith and the Rani link up for a dance for old time's sake.
We danced once upon a time, you and I, at the siege of Persephone.
This feels like a bit of deja vu for the 15th Doctor.
What's with you and dancing now, shoot? You come here, you're going to
Telling you, they'll have me on Strictly next.
Not for the first time, Ncuti had to dust off his dancing shoes and cut some rug.
Two Time Lords meeting again.
Yeah.
In the middle of a waltz, as you do. Just so camp. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
What a brilliant, what a brilliant baddie.
So you've ticked off now. You've done your 60s dance, and you've now waltzed.
We've now waltzed.
So that is actually, you're nearly on the whole Strictly lineup there. You've danced with a Strictly judge.
I know.
Just a trend here.
It's
I'm just saying.
It's a trend.
It's a trend.
It's a trend.
Choreographer Jack Murphy, who we met in last season's The Devil's Cord and Rogue, is back to make sure Ncuti and Archie's waltz stays in step.
You're here again doing another dance from Doctor Who? Can't get enough of it.
What a pleasure, what a privilege.
Because it's more intimate than the work you've done on the series, I suppose. So how does that change your work rather than doing one of the, those big numbers or the Bridgerton-style stuff?
This is really what my career is based on, because primarily I've worked on plays. This is taking me home, really, so I'm very, very
It's a busman's holiday for you as well.
It is a busman's holiday, if you want to put it that way, Steffan, yes, but I'm very happy to ride that bus.
Absolutely.
Jack Murphy's such a character. He just, he understands dance, but he also understands performances. And so what was really helpful in having him was doing the dialogue and the dance. And he told me he'd still Harry Costa because he was a little bit of this. But I did get to spend some time with him. Yeah, he was indeed.
That was hard. I mean, harder for Archie. Archie had that long speech to do, was listening to the music as well. At the top of the dance, she's because I'm still John Smith at this point, so he doesn't really know what he's doing. So she was leading in 6-inch heels while giving a speech, whilst also listening to music. And she smashed it.
People said we were lovers. Can you remember?
What Archie Punjabi is doing at the moment is unbelievably difficult. Until you've tried it, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at home, I'd try dancing and talking at the same time, and it's actually quite hard, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is why you've been able to have a career, Jack. Because you've got to teach people to do it.
You do, and have to find a way of expressly doing it, find the quickest way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because you kind of, it's all about repetition.
And is the idea that the dance becomes second nature then? So that you
Totally.
Yeah.
So they're not even thinking about it. It becomes kinesthetic. It's in the muscle memory. It's a drama. It's not a dance show. So I mustn't indulge in where I would like to take it.
No, less swizzling.
Yeah, and I have to kind of then go, oh, I'm not going to be judged on the fact that actually there's a simplicity to it.
Yeah.
We should go again, guys.
Okay.
Sorry.
In the Doctor Who Season 2 finale.
Okay, let's repeat chapter 1. Is it working?
We need to move a little faster. Sweet little Desideria. If only you were older, you could imagine such complicated things. Instead, I've got you.
Hold on to your seats. In this episode of Doctor Who Unleashed, we have the exclusive inside story of the 15th Doctor's regeneration.
You know what's going to happen when you get cast. You're like, I'm going to have to hand this baton over one time. It's all going to come to an end soon.
Yeah.
Look who's back.
You've redecorated. I don't like it.
Nobody knows, really, that Jodie's here. I only found out this morning.
Oh,
So that's how much of a secret this is.
Oh, right.
Okay.
We've got an exclusive interview with the Whoniverse's latest star. And we say goodbye for now to not one, but two companions.
I just had a moment where I was like, oh, I'm actually just saying goodbye to all of this.
And so, for the last time this series,
welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Where to begin? Well, there's only one place we can begin, really.
Joy to the world!
the end. The end of the season, the end of an era, the end of the 15th Doctor.
How have you felt then, realising these last few weeks will have been your last as the Doctor winding down? How have you felt? How are you feeling?
Feeling complete. Feeling, you know it's gonna happen when you get cast. You're like, I'm gonna have to hand this baton over one time. It's all gonna come to an end soon.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I've been in constant preparation for that. It's been bittersweet, as I can imagine it's been for all Doctors. Just looking at the console before regenerating was like, my God, this console has been here for 60 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was here for some of those years. And how magic. But also, my body is tired. You've tired me. You've tired me, and I'm old now, and I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready to settle down.
Oh! Ouch!
When you will get a chance to reflect back on the last couple of years as the Doctor, how do you think you'll feel? What will be your emotions?
Pure joy and like magic, and like this was a magic time. It's a demanding role, so it demands a lot of you. And so because of that, you're like in a state of like just doing when you're in it. And it's only in these like final moments, or what will be in like future moments, where you look back and you're like, wow, we created something special. And also I was a part of a show that is so special and so magical and legendary.
Yeah.
What?
You can't help but like replay just all your first moments in here. Like the first time I was on wires with Millie on that corner. Introducing Ruby to the jukebox.
Oh, jukebox. I like that.
Running around all of you, like that was playing in my head in the final scenes.
Okay, that looks good.
It was just like, so much fun.
Yeah.
And so much joy and so much brilliance, and yeah, I will look back on it with a full heart.
If I had to press you, which I do, on a particular favourite memory.
I don't know, doing something, like whenever I was on the wires and you're like in a ridiculous situation, which you are in a lot of the time in this show.
Yeah.
Where like, there's a lot of people working and you're like dangling 20 feet high on somewhere, and then you just have to have a chat.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, drop! And rest, thank you. Cut there.
This will be your first interview after this happened.
Okay.
So fans will be watching this and they'll be sad, some of them, that you'll be moving on. What would your message to them be?
I love you, Whovians, so much. Thank you so much for embracing me. The level of love that the Whovians pour into the show is part of the magic of the show. They give so much to the show. And so thank you all, Whovians, for embracing me, embracing Millie, embracing V, and this new chapter that Doctor Who's in, and just for all the love and support. It's truly heartfelt. So keep doing what you're doing, keep leaking our set locations and all the craziness that you do. Love.
This has been an absolute joy.
The 15th Doctor might be saying adios, amigos, but there's a new star rising in the two-part finale.
Meow.
All you Whovians will have immediately clocked that John and Belinda's daughter, Poppy, is somewhat familiar. A very young Sienna Robin Mavanga Phipps starred as Captain Poppy in last season's Space Babies.
I'm Captain Poppy, and I kept the station running for Mummy and Daddy, because we knew you'd come back for us one day.
That was then. This is now. 12 months later. Sienna's back, no longer a baby, now a toddler. And as this is unleashed, we've got a world-exclusive interview with the star herself. So is she excited to be back?
Now, they do say never work with children or animals.
Yeah.
But you're having a ball working with little Sienna.
Oh my God, she's gorgeous. She's just perfect.
I get your nose.
You got my nose. It was a little trickier this time because, like, just at the start, because she's a bit older, she was a bit more aware. So things were a bit scarier to her.
Yeah.
But then she got used to me and V. And then she started asking to go again. We'd finish a take and she'd be like, again?
It's a delight being able to work with her. She's so funny.
Whose house is this?
It's Ncuti's house.
What?
She comes out with some absolute gems.
Flint.
I mean, Ncuti's obviously got his amazing denim kilt outfit thing. And, you know, we all just acknowledge that he looks absolutely incredible. He leans in, and the first thing she said is,
What are you wearing?
Okay. It was so funny.
I wonder whether they've got that on camera because that happened and it was brilliant.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
There was a moment when we were shooting with Sienna, 100% human.
I asked, well, what else would she be? And completely, you know, deadpan said,
Dr. Who.
Oh, wow. She's coming for your job, Ncuti.
She is. She is.
She's Doctor Who.
She is the real star of Doctor Who. Both seasons strong, standout performance, man. That's the next Doctor, I'm telling you.
I have your nose.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. We say goodbye to not one, but two companions.
Hi!
I join the costume department for my work experience.
So we've got to put this down V's top.
And we're there to capture Ncuti's very last moments as the 15th Doctor.
Ncuti Gatwa, you all right?
But first, every day we get what's called a call sheet. A list of what's being shot that day and the names of all the actors that are going to be on set. Now this morning, there's a bit of a buzz as one of the actors on the call sheet is called Petrol. Nothing else, just Petrol. But who is this mysterious Petrol? Well, there have been wild rumours flying around. Is it Daniel Craig? Is it Dame Judi Dench or Lady Gaga? Just some of the names being mentioned. Whoever it is, it must be someone of significance. As Russell's on set today, and he's looking rather excited. The Unleashed crew have gone off in search of director Alex Pillai, and he's about to reveal who Petrol actually is.
So, we are awaiting the arrival of Jodie Whittaker for our fantastic scene with the two Doctors, the 13th and the 15th Doctors on our TARDIS. And the interesting thing is that Jodie has not seen the set. So, when she comes in, we're going to take her up the stairs and reveal all of it. Jodie Whittaker, I'm Alex.
What an entrance!
Of course I got. Well, Jonathan here follows me everywhere.
On holiday?
In the loo, everything. Are you ready to go and have a look?
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Oh my God, it's massive!
So beautiful. Yeah, isn't this immense?
So yes, Petrol is 13th Doctor Jodie Whittaker.
So what does it feel like to be back on a set of Doctor Who then?
I am incredibly hyperactive. There's a few familiar faces.
Yeah.
Some of which I haven't seen literally since I left, and I felt incredibly emotional when I saw them.
Yeah.
But also getting back into my costume, I was like, a pig in poo.
Very well put.
Yeah,
very well put. Very well.
I was delighted it still fit.
Yeah.
And delighted that I still look class. But I've got a wig. That's the only difference.
Yeah,
but I think it's such a good wig. I've got long brown hair at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's not very 13.
The 13th Doctor was last seen in October 2022, when she regenerated into the 14th Doctor, the returning David Tennant. So how did Jodie react when she was invited back?
Like, I don't need to read anything. I don't need to know anything.
Yeah.
I probably won't even know my lines, guys. But I was like, whatever it is,
I'll be there, but I did know I was working.
Yeah.
So that was the only tense thing, was that I already knew I was going to be away on another job, which obviously couldn't know about this job, but needed to kind of release me.
Yeah.
So all back to the joys of secretive Doctor Who, which the anxiety and stress of keeping secrets, I was like long gone, and then now I'm back in it.
What are you doing here?
I've been popped. Like, pop out of my own timeline because there's a great big time schism on its way caused by you.
You just slip back into it.
I tell you what, because I pitched 13 at like,
Yeah.
when I was looking at the lines, I was like, oh God.
Yeah, it's quite
I've got
meaty,
to go
it's quite a
back
script,
in.
isn't it?
And I obviously can't let the better Doctor down. And I've never met him, but I'm having such a lovely time.
Yeah.
And I knew there were one proper sci-fi line that I was going to get wrong.
This is gonna hurt.
Try shifting your third strand.
This is gonna hurt.
Try shifting your third strand. Pheno markers. 1 microspasm to the left. It just might help. And I have got it wrong multiple times.
But you've also got it right.
Yeah, and you know what? You only need 1 take.
Exactly.
And a really great editor.
Thank you, Mr. Editor, for sorting that out. Yeah.
Ms.
Oh yeah, so Miss Editor for sorting that out. Good point. Now it's all very secret that you're here. Like nobody knows really that Jodie's here. I only found out this morning.
Oh,
Right?
did
So that's how much of a secret this is.
Oh, right.
Okay. You've got a code name. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've had to learn my lines like that, and it's really thrown me. But, oh, no, do you mean the character name that I've got?
Yeah. So on the call sheet, you're down as Petrol.
No, I know, and so in the scene, when I was learning my lines
Yeah.
for Dr. 15, was Clive.
Was it Clive?
Clive and Petrol.
Do you get to choose a code name?
I've got I've got a pseudonym for like checking into hotels, which I'm not putting online.
No, that's a good idea. Keep that to yourself. Not much of a pseudonym then, is it?
Yeah.
But if you're in a hotel and someone called Petrol books
Yeah,
in, you know who it is.
Petrol Whittaker.
So Jodie was Petrol and Ncuti was Clive, which got me to thinking...
When you're, maybe one day sneaking back in as Belinda for some storyline in the far future of Doctor Who knows,
Yeah.
and you've got to be a code name.
Yeah.
What would your code name be?
Jumpsuit.
Oh, that's good.
She loves a good jumpsuit. She loves a good jumpsuit.
I don't know. Checkered? I wear so much check. I mean, I maybe pinstripe actually.
Pinstripe, yeah, pinstripe works.
I'm dressed like David Tennant in this episode, so yeah, I'll be pinstripe.
Oh, have you ever had a code name in the past, or would you have a code name if you were
Warthog.
What? Straight away?
Oh, coffee bean. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
Be coffee head.
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname in school, maybe, or do you have a pet? Do you have a pet or a name?
Well, my nickname in primary school is Chopsy, so I don't know whether that would be very good on a call sheet.
Chopsy. I like it. Now, for the non-Welsh people watching, Chopsy means...
Like talkative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or mouth.
Yeah.
I've got a funny skill.
Okay.
I can tap dance, and I
Right.
still tap dance.
Do you?
Maybe I'd be the tapper.
There we are.
Probably butterfly.
Butterfly's a good one.
Float in and out.
Yeah.
No one notices me on set.
I'm gonna go Diesel.
I'm trying to think what diesel means. I mean, it sounds like quite earthy, quite rustic.
Sounds cool.
Quite dirty. It does sound cool.
It's like a motorbiking thing.
Yeah, and you got a leather jacket.
Yeah. So maybe that's the vibe I want to go for.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, right, yeah.
Then they meet me and they go, he ain't that.
When we had our special guest in here the other day, and on the call sheet, she was down as Petrol.
She was called Petrol.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because one day I think there'll be a companion called Petrol. It's been a name that's been in my head for a long while.
Is it?
Yeah, and I might use it one day, I might not. I might go have someone called Felicity from 1602 or something, but equally Petrol. It's a good name.
Oh, you like it? Okay, there we are.
Yeah, it works, doesn't it? Everyone kind of picked up on that.
Yeah, well, we did. We've been asking everyone what their code name would be as a result.
Exactly. No one's like going, what's the code name? Something about the word petrol that goes ping like that.
Yeah.
So one day, maybe you might see a petrol in Doctor Who.
Without wishing to turn this episode into a wake, we're also here to say farewell to not one, but two companions. Ruby Sunday.
What's your name?
Ruby. Ruby Sunday.
Hello, Ruby Sunday. I'm the Doctor. Hi.
And Belinda Chandra.
So what's your name? Dr. what?
Just the Doctor.
All right then. I'm called the nurse.
I have loved playing Belinda. I love the idea that I get to play this fiery, powerful, strong woman who is constantly tested by this nutcase of a man.
Doctor, I told you, get me home.
There's no other job that would give you the opportunity to be able to see the same character in all these different circumstances.
No! Oh my God, Miss Rowland!
I don't know if I'll ever have that again.
I know this is the end of Belinda for now, but it's never really the end, is it, in Doctor Who, is it? Come on.
No.
We all know what happens. So you'll probably be back here eventually. But in terms of this bit,
Yeah.
have you had a chance to reflect back on it so far? Are you still in the middle of, actually, I've got to finish it off first?
You know, there are moments where it catches you out. When we were shooting in the garden for the goodbye sequence, I just had a moment where I was like, oh, I'm actually just saying goodbye to all of this, which I probably should have thought about before that day.
Did it catch you?
It did, but then it's also, when you're holding a baby, it's like, oh, I can't fall apart when I'm holding you, so I have to hold it together.
Yeah.
Even though my instinct is to just be like, bye, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah, it did. It really caught me. It's always after filming a show that I get the post-show blues. And I think I'm going to be looking back at all the Unleashed episodes and all the footage very, very fondly.
This is the end of a journey that you started with Ncuti, all that time ago. What's it like to be here at the end? You were there at the beginning, now you're here at the end as well.
My gosh, I remember that. I mean, I remember when I met you.
Yeah. Hello, has anybody seen Millie anywhere? Has anybody? Oh, you're there! Sorry.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it seems like forever ago and also yesterday. I think we've both been on such a prominent journey together, and it's a very unique one as well. I feel like no one really understands this experience until you're in the Whoniverse world as it is.
From kilts and coats to spacesuits and sharp suits.
Action.
The costume department design, create and manage all of the cast's clothing. For this episode's work experience, I'm being entrusted to help one thread of this very big department.
Well, Michelle, I'm excited to be with you today. What exactly is your title? Because it's a big department, and I can't be honest, I don't exactly know what everybody does. I know you're all busy, everybody flies around, and everybody's holding stuff.
So I'm a principal costume standby.
Yeah.
So I mainly do principals.
Yeah. So principals, that means that's the main actors, then, rather than the supporting actors.
Yes, yeah.
As the principal costume standby, Michelle is responsible for dressing and maintaining the main character actors. And there's lots to do even before the cameras start rolling.
Obviously, you're a sort of bit of a linchpin, right? Because you're looking after what they look like, but all the departments must come to you, I suppose. You're working with everyone.
Yeah, so sound in the morning, we work with sound. So we've got to make sure that the mics are hidden, and so that's what we're going to be doing in a minute.
Is it okay for us to mic?
First task of the day, mic up one of the principal actors.
Hi.
And lucky for Varida, it's her.
So you've got to make sure, basically, this goes on without messing any of the work that you've already done.
Yeah, so the sound department have come up with this very clever, so we've got to put this down V's top. So let's...
Are we going under the vest?
Under the vest.
Wait.
The great thing with this is you don't have to undo any of the costume. So then...
So that goes down the leg. I did not think the sound would go down the leg.
Or you can pull that back.
Oh, yeah. Thank God.
This is quite, it's early in the morning. People will want to chat. Sometimes they'll be in the zone, right? And you've got to feed off that if you're
yes,
putting
I'm
the costume
very good
on.
at like kind of that non-verbal dialogue. You know, especially if there's a lot of lines to learn, things like that. I just come in like a little ninja and just kind of, do my bit, help out, and then go out. So yeah, I'm very respectful.
The best thing about Michelle is keeping me warm. Like, you're the best at keeping me warm. I'll be dreading like wearing the dress that day, and somehow I've got nothing to worry about because I'll just be totally warm like the whole time.
A bit like a mum, kind of. I like to make sure that everybody is comfortable and warm, and so you can do your job as well.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing. So it's.
And on that note, we should probably let you go and do your job.
Yeah.
So what I'm discovering so far is that keeping people warm is really important in this job, and also like having chat, lots of chat, or sometimes no chat at all. So, like, you've got a small talk game, and this could be the job for you.
Right, time to mosey on over to the unit set for today's scenes. There are lots of actors with lots of costumes and lots of details to be checked. So Michelle and I set up where we can oversee everything.
So these are the checks monitors, are they?
Yes. So when they rehearse, they'll rehearse then on camera, and then we can see kind of what's going on to see what the costume's doing. Do we need to do any rigging? What I like to do is I like to kind of do in my head like pre-checks. What do I need? What's the costume doing? What kind of do I need to do on checks?
Yeah.
Because you have maybe about 30 seconds to a minute to do checks.
Right.
So you've got to solve loads
So
of problems.
checks is
really
when
quickly.
basically they're about to start filming and they call checks and everybody runs in. That's to make sure that everything looks good so that they can start filming. Yeah.
With a break in rehearsals, Michelle and I get to work, making sure the cast are looking as they should and staying warm and comfortable.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. Stay warm. So how did you end up doing this?
17 years ago, something like that, I started. So I was a teacher before that.
Were you?
Yeah, so went back to uni when I was 25 and then retrained and then just did all my work experience in TV, film and theatre and slowly kind of worked my way in. You know, we've got to do quick sewing jobs, you know, so a quick kind of alteration, kind of having a broad range of, you know, spectrum of skills I think is really, and people skills.
Yeah.
Reading the room, you know, kind of keeping people calm as well. I'm known as Mama Mish.
I was going to say, you're basically an on-set therapist, aren't you, Michelle? Basically. So do you not hover until they're back ready to go again and you take it away?
Yes. So I
So we're hovering.
We're hovering.
So, we are moving on to set up 2, everyone.
Director Alex calls for the next setup, and that's my call to action.
Sorry, I know it's cold. Trying to take this from you. Sorry. Come on, you're a professional, you've got this, you can do it. That's all right, just doing, you know, on it. She wasn't even there. So there we are, Michelle. Well, thank you very much for showing me the ropes.
Pleasure.
Feedback?
You're very good, very attentive.
Yeah,
Cass.
good.
You can join our team.
It's a win-win. That's the best feedback I've had. This is great.
We'll get you sewing next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll
actually.
do some sewing jobs next time.
I'll have to, I don't know if I've got my calluses aren't ready yet,
So
though.
we've got thimbles.
Okay, it's fine. In an episode full of landmark moments, let's have one more, shall we? The last scene that Ncuti Gatwa shot as the 15th Doctor.
At last!
It's now officially May the 24th, the day we thought would never arrive.
Congratulations. With everyone who is anyone here to witness Ncuti's last scene, I want to get a word on the man himself from those who know him best.
It's amazing to look back and think what Ncuti's brought to the Doctor. And I think famously, he is a more emotional Doctor than we've ever seen before. I mean, there's not an emotion you can't name. That's the glorious thing about it. He's been angry. He's been funny.
You're Scooby-Doo.
Honey, I'm Velma.
He's been joyous, he's been lonely, he's been brave, he's been optimistic, he's been sad. Name an emotion the man hasn't put into this. It's just Doctor Who played to 100%.
I think he has a flair, a natural flair for being this kind of otherworldly being. He is inherently such a special person, and I think he really brings that sparkle to the Doctor.
And she's toasting a pumpkin latte.
Ncuti is unique, and I've loved every second of working with him. I think he is pure magic. He's a star.
I'm the Doctor.
Obviously, when you come to an end of something, you like to look back on favourite moments. Is there a standout piece of 15 that you love?
Oh, it's hard. I mean, I want to wheel 18 episodes in front of you and show them all. I think the ending of Fine Time, the ending of Dot and Bubble, was the most, which was day one for him. Which is the most extraordinary performance I've ever seen on camera from anyone. But actually, do you know what? I'm going to choose a really unexpected moment. I'm going to choose the end of the Interstellar Song Contest, where they're standing in the corridor and Belinda tells him he's wonderful. And I think this is Ncuti at his absolute best.
You're wonderful.
Did you look at his face in that moment? He's kind of wary, he's in love with her, he's impressed, he's lofty. He's a bit aloof, like she's an ant. He's intimate, like she's the most important. It's just look at his face. All he does is smile at her, look a bit puzzled and happy, and hugs her. And moments like that, that's just true brilliance in that moment. I don't know what he's thinking in that moment, and that's very rare.
Listen up.
It's my honour and privilege to do this. We've been on quite a journey, you and I, since summer 2022, where we put you in a shirt and pants and we put you on the helipad. Thank you for all your hard work on this series. You are a magnificent Doctor. You're now part of a really special family. So as annoying as we are, we're always here. And there's always a seat on the TARDIS for you. Ncuti Gatwa, you all right?
He's been an incredible Doctor, and he's an incredible person, an incredible actor. We love you, Ncuti.
He's just brilliant at everything. And it just feels very special that I got to be here for his entire run.
He's taken it and blown something so very special and so of himself into it. I love him.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that are really sad. It's a closing of a chapter, and I think he's going to be treasured forever because he's spectacular.
Thank you. Everyone here is amazing. I'm terrible with words, but the crew here, really are the petrol to this place. And thank you so much for the past 2 years. This place is filled with so much love and hard work, and the hard work that goes into creating these incredible scripts every day is exceptional. Thanks for my 2 companions. There are no words. There are no words. I have no words for this experience, but just thank you, everyone.
Mel, come on, everyone. Ada will come and see you in 1 second.
Yeah.
Cofiwch I clicio mwyn tanysgrifio I sianel swyddogol Doctor Who ar YouTube. Click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.